Alright, where we
Is
left
that wrong?
off, you guys had spent 4 hours of real time fiddling around with a device that Colleen unlocked. To be fair, it was actually only like 3 hours. It took an hour to get it out of the storage
Mm-hmm.
uh, space. Um, and then spent the next 3 hours fiddling around with it, for which I love you guys. You ended up assembling it. It caused a blip in metaspace in which the ship thought that metaspace was gone, and so the ship shut down your drives to purge the metaspace within the spike drive as a safety measure. Um, your ship it's fine now. It's no damage was done. There's not even really any concern of that for what happened, and you've now strapped the assembled device to a table in the workshop so that it doesn't move about on its own, and tasked Colleen and others to figure out how to deactivate it without dismantling it or before any dismantling is done.
Yes. We want the off
Hello.
button, not the dismantle button.
Howdy.
Howdy. Morning.
Morning, Mel.
Sorry about the delay.
Hey, Mel.
It's alright. It was only a couple minutes. Um, and that's where we left off. You're still orbiting Reynolati.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just it's quiet out there in space.
Well,
It's a great big universe, but we're all really puny.
I was just gonna say, that's how we like it. The last time something was short in space, it didn't end well for anybody.
yes.
We're all
We-
tiny
we
little
might-
specks about the size of Mickey Rooney. Big and black and inky, and we're small and dinky. Big universe, but it's ours.
Yeah. We much prefer being small balloons of meat and liquid to the alternatives.
What are you guys doing? Aside from talking about balloons again.
Aside from or quoting Animaniacs lyrics.
Yes, that's where that came from.
Well, Dude would have made a priority of finding the off button for this thing. So, yes, once we got it into the where we got it strapped down and not movable, he would have sat down with Colleen and got to a cautious fiddle.
Okay. Colleen?
Well, first thing she would do is basically rig up equipment to measure a couple of things.
Okay. That there took the rest of the previous day. So, that day is gone. You spent half of it with the device assembled, and at about a little bit into the afternoon, had the discussion of whether to dismantle it or not. We're told no, not yet, and started started preparing the equipment that you'd need to move forward. Um, was anybody else doing anything for the rest of that day?
Well, Colleen was also waiting. Is everyone else gone apart from Dude?
That's a good question too.
Yeah,
Nemo,
would
Cap,
anyone else have stuck around? Yeah.
yeah, he's gonna stick around while they're not even doing anything with the device, just preparing other equipment that may be more specialized for it.
Well, as per the captain's request, Nemo is monitoring all channels for any mentions of any detection of a metaspace disruption or
Okay.
uh,
All right, and Cap.
incident.
Oh, very good. Thank you for being the first two to use the chat. So I don't really like where I placed it, so I'll move it.
Okay.
There we go. That should be good. Okay. And I see what Clark is doing. So this is still during the previous day, Jeff.
I would assume so. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't think it would be too difficult to find Cap, unless Cap is hiding for some reason.
I think Cap would watch the goings on.
Okay. So Clark, Cap is still in the workshop with the device.
I lean up on the wall near her. You know, I've been thinking. Those Cardinal Sons folk. I know we're trying to get some pre-tech to help salvage the ship, but I feel like we should we should be thinking about our next move. I think that's our best lead we got, right?
And what are you? I assume you have an idea of what you think we should do.
Well, if them folk are gonna play around with that new little shiny toy they got, I mean, while they're doing it, why don't we head over to Henry Station and we can look around, see if we can find some records or maybe some news about the Cardinal Sons and specifically that fellow that went out to Stet and probably had something to do with us.
I really don't want to take this thing near Henry Station in its current state.
Well, we can wait until they get it figured out a little bit, but
At least get it powered down. It doesn't have to be disassembled, but if we can at least get it so it's not not such a risk.
right,
Shouldn't
that,
have put
you
it
know.
together in the first place.
We don't want to shut down the station on accident.
Captain, strictly speaking, that thing is not on.
It still has juice going to it. And if something happens while we're docking and that thing accidentally goes off, I don't want to particularly be responsible for that. We're lucky that there was no one, at least as far as we can tell, in the area when that thing went off. And that was my call, and it was a bad one. I should have let you all tinker with it more and figure out what it did before putting it together. She'll look at Clark and say, "Do you mind waiting just a couple more days, and we'll go back to Henry Station? I think we need to anyway."
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Hopefully, man, it ain't gonna take that long.
Hopefully, it's not going to take.
That'd be real nice.
We can always look for more salvage in the meantime. I mean, while we're here.
I think we're all in need of some more rest and recovery. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
She'll look at Clark too,
Yeah.
since that's who she was. Well, she did say y'all, so.
I'm feeling a lot better. Not all there, but I can move around. Probably go running if I wanted to.
Think you could handle going back to the planet surface yet?
I think I could handle it.
I'm still inclined not to go back until we've been to Henry Station.
Well, I mean, I think we got a better idea on what the hazards of the planet itself is, and I'm inclined to agree with with Colleen here. I mean, this thing isn't exactly a. It doesn't feel like it's gonna do anything. I mean, it might, but I think I'd be okay if Colleen wanted to stay up here and fiddle with it, and the rest of us went down and took another quick peek into one of those buildings there. There's no sense in hanging out in orbit here and doing absolutely nothing. And hell, if we get more salvage out of it, I mean, that's just we're real close to getting at least one of our guns actually working, which would be real nice.
I would.
All right. So you've got a little bit of a plan. Are you gonna decide tonight who is going back to the planet, or do you want to leave that to the morning?
Oh, are we going before we go back to Stet?
No,
Or not Stet, Henry Station.
Yeah, we're gonna
Wait.
go back to Henry Station first, I think.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
I missed
Okay.
that part. I wasn't quite sure what you meant there. So you're gonna
Sorry.
orbit around Rain Lottie for a couple more days while Colleen and Dude figure out what they can figure out, and
Yeah.
then go back to Henry Station.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Wait,
I
Cardinal
was.
Sons? Really? That's an awful pun.
It's also a perfectly valid mercenary company name.
I'm
because
inclined to agree with Mike.
Just because they're bloodthirsty mercenaries doesn't mean they can't have a sense of humor.
I mean, come on. We're on the Santa Clarita.
Yes, but at least that's not a terrible pun.
We could make it one.
That wasn't an invitation.
No, I mean, dude was actually recommending that. Well, was saying that he'd be fine if he thought it would be okay if we actually did go back down to Rain Lolati at least once before we went back to Henry Station, just to take a quick peek in one of the other dead towers, because he agrees with Colleen that the thing isn't an active threat. So just having Colleen up and still fiddling with it, you know, he'd be okay if Dude, Cap, and Clark at least went back down to take a peek into another tower, rather than spend a few days doing nothing.
Good. That's a good point.
But as always, he defers to Cat.
Yeah, that is a good point, though.
Yeah, the three of us can go back, and Nemo.
Sorry?
Well, Colleen will point out you're probably gonna need her down there.
Maybe. I think you'd be. I'd prefer you're up here looking at that thing, and I mean, if we need you, we could just fly back up and then, put a pin in that. I'd prefer you have you looking at this thing. You seem to have a better connection with it.
Yeah, but sometimes I can use a break too.
Well, work on this for a day.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Recover a
hoping
little
that.
bit more. I'm worried you really pushed yourself a lot last time we went.
Oh yeah.
I want to make sure that people are in decent shape when we go back down. Sound all right?
Sure.
Sounds good to me.
Colleen, you get a chance to sift through that data we brought back? At
Well,
all?
I have it categorized, but that's the extent of it so far.
All right. Well, we should take our lesson learned from last time. Let's make sure we're taking at least a few data slabs and the storage cube.
That's the part where you would need me.
Yes, I know. That's why I'm saying work on this tomorrow and then get a little bit more rest that way. And then we'll go back down, all of us, except for Tom and the new crew.
I think it's been pointed out, and Mel can correct me if I'm wrong. Nemo does have some programming skill as well. I mean, Mel, don't correct me about that. I know he does, but I don't know if it's been pointed out.
It has not really been pointed out.
Okay.
Not mechanically, in the sense that it's on the character sheet. We have a program skill of -1.
Oh, was I wrong about that? Huh, I may have been wrong about that.
Never mind then.
Never mind then.
Looking at my sheet now, it says program -1.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty bad.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's, I was looking at, apparently something else. Never mind. I think I was thinking of his fix.
It's fixed at +0.
Yeah.
Ah.
Well, is it +0 because it's, yeah, it's, fix of 0, right?
Yeah, the fixed score is 0.
Okay.
+1, a total of +1 if
Right.
switching, when switching stats around. The program would be a total of +0 with the stat shift. But
But the skill
Base
is still at a
-1.
-1, so which is unskilled.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I was mistaken, so never mind. And it has not been pointed out because I was mistaken.
It works.
Okay. Well, Colleen and Dude spend the rest of the day arranging equipment that will be more specifically useful for this. Um, this process, this effort is going to take some of your scrap. Not much, but you've got to make some specialized receivers, boards, circuits, etc. So take off 5,000 scrap from your ship inventory. Um,
Would you say 5,000?
5,000. And if there's nothing else that Cap, Nemo, or Clark are doing for the rest of the day, then we'll move on.
Well, Colleen was going to talk to Dude once the rest of them are gone.
Oh my god, you guys want to roleplay? Alright, fine.
And we don't have to, if it's that inconvenient.
I'm trying to advance a storyline here. No, go ahead.
I think we have proven last time that we don't care about that.
You have proven that. Mike has a storyline that he shouldn't have put a puzzle in the game.
Well, just keep in mind I don't forget
You know.
things like that.
Oh joy.
There's a reason I keep a large text file.
Yeah.
He can't remember to turn his phone on or keep it turned on, but he remembers stuff like that.
Well, in all fairness, I also don't know where that phone is, so...
Oh, Jesus.
Then what am I paying $30 a month for?
So that I occasionally find it and then have it with me when I'm, like, traveling in the car?
Alright, so let's go to that conversation between
Yes.
Colleen
Yeah.
and Dude.
But sometime while I'm working on things, he will just go, hey,
Yeah, what's up?
I assume this is after Cap is left also, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
but all of them are off doing other things. Once they all got bored watching the two of them
Mm-hmm.
just fiddle with equipment. Um, that thing,
Mm-hmm.
part of it scares me to death.
That just means your brain's working.
It's more than that. It's like I saw something. I wish I could explain it better. That's all I can say is trust me on these things. It's just sometimes I just know things. It's remember down there when I had those explosives we used to blow out the window?
Yeah.
I usually don't carry these. Hell, I don't even carry a gun. I don't particularly like them.
Kind of had noticed that.
It's just for some reason I knew we would need it. That's doesn't happen often, just every once in a while. But when I saw that thing, it was like a memory or just a thought. Kind of giant white explosiony things. That's why I'm so dead set against just taking that thing apart, because I have a feeling it would go very, very badly.
Well, I mean, that's certainly a valid concern. The fact that it was on our ship, locked away and disassembled, means that at some point, us or somebody near adjacent to us actually did manage to dismantle it. Means it's technically possible without blowing everything up. But I definitely understand
But
your
yes.
caution.
Oh, it's just it's more than that. It's one of those times when I have these feelings, and they're rarely, if ever, wrong. It's just I don't have a better reason
Well,
than that. That it's one of those times.
I mean, shit. Like, we had bits of our brain wiped out. The fact that you're getting random flashes of like actual useful knowledge is, I'd have to say, par for the course at this point. I didn't even know I could fix this shit until I started fixing it. We don't. We're running blind here, and we're finding the channel as we go.
Yeah, it's
Well, I mean, I get being weirded out by it, but you know, I think you just got to be a little bit more accepting of the fact that you're not going to understand why you are doing the things you do, and roll with it. I mean, it'll at least keep you more mellowed out.
well. I mean, I'm fine with rolling with it. It's just how do you explain it to other people that if you do that, we all might just die terribly?
I feel
When
like
you can't back it up with solid fact, it's not like I can point to something and say, "Hey, here is the perfect explanation why."
well, I mean, I would certainly understand that you might have access to knowledge that isn't complete. We're all in the same boat here, so I feel like we ain't gonna have that much of a. I think you need to be cool with expressing this and understand that we're probably not gonna doubt you. I mean, if the situation was different and you were the one who had your brain messed with and we were all like perfectly okay and knew everything that we knew, yeah, we'd probably think you were full of shit if you just randomly said, I know that's wrong, and I can't tell you why that's wrong. But I feel like you've got a better built in excuse at this point. Like,
Well, the problem is I really don't know why. Here's the thing: I'm not entirely sure that thought really is mine. It's
all right, getting a little weirder.
yes, yes. Welcome to my world.
Well,
It's just what I saw. It was like a memory, but not mine. It's not like watching TV and you see something. But just what I got for it when that thing did whatever it did, that I can't explain it. I really wish I could.
Well, I mean, we are talking about a thing that just did something that isn't supposed to be doable. So I think we left whatever normal is a while back.
True.
Like, this is worse than uncharted territory. I think we're off the map entirely. Like, we're off where the map is supposed to be. I don't know. It's a bad analogy.
Here be monsters?
Well, shit. You ain't wrong there.
Well, now I'll figure it out, hopefully. My only worry is that hopefully that thing is not purely operated by psychics. And what's
Well,
up?
that'd be problematic, considering I don't think any of us have the brain power for that. Uh, all I can say is just express this shit when it pops into your head. The more you're
Well, I
willing to tell
did.
us, the more we can work on it. Yeah, and yeah. I mean, don't be afraid to tell us what you think is going on, and be okay with not being able to back it up. We'll judge it based on the merits of what it sounds like. I think Cass got our best interests in heart. I mean, we can't guarantee we ain't going to make stupid decisions, but I don't know that you can guarantee that for yourself either. I mean, if you can, you're a cockier person than I give you credit for.
True. Well, I guess we'll figure it out.
Well, I mean, if we don't, we don't. It hasn't killed us yet.
Well, I prefer it didn't.
Yeah, me too. Kind of like to see a little more of this universe. Well, I still got. It is kind of nice not being able to remember having gone someplace because you get to experience it again the first time. Can't wait till we get someplace with some decent music. It'll be nice hearing songs for the first time.
I'm sure we can find you a music channel somewhere.
Yeah, well, we got more important things to work on. Here,
Yeah.
hand me that meter. Let's get this scanner built up. We'll see what we can finish up tonight, and then we'll get some rest. It's been a weird day.
Every day is weird.
Again, you ain't wrong.
Well, I built that scanner, I guess.
We keep working.
All right. Then believe that's everybody and everything that was going to be done there.
At least that night.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want any fix rolls or anything, or is this pretty standard
This is just
extended
standard.
stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, hang on 1 second there. All right. The next day, y'all recover a point of system strain and your level in hit points. Uh,
How
Nemo.
long has this been?
Nemo would actually be the best to tell us that, because Nemo's been racking up the Rain Lolati culture.
Mhm.
Uh, 5 days since we started. 5 days since we came back from our first visit to Rinaldi.
All right, so then my system strain is completely gone.
Well, this is the 5th day, so you've
Yes,
had
this
4
is the
days of
5th day.
rest.
Yes.
Right, so
Yeah.
that takes me down to 0.
Okay.
There you go. I'm still at 2, but yeah.
Jeff, you've
I'm
also
at
been
3.
tracking by hit points. Does that sound right? Having had 4 days of rest.
Let's see. I think
I
I was
mean-
at 10 after the level, so I've gotten 12 back. So if so, I've missed a day. Wait, no, 3 times 4 is 12. No, yeah,
12.
that's right. Never mind.
I mean, at this point, after this night, we had 4 days of 4 days of basically rest
Yeah.
because I've been tracking my system strain.
Right.
This was basically the 4th night. It's day 5, basically the beginning.
Okay. Day 5, beginning. So my understanding is this day, Colleen and Dude, or is it just Colleen? Because at this point, with the equipment that Colleen needs built, it
Mhm.
is just program roles or program knowledge and skill to read data.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that dude would be actively hindering her if he tried to help her with program roles.
Well, that doesn't mean he can't be there if he wants to learn.
Yeah, but if he's just going to be in her way, I mean, he would try not to do anything if, I mean, he'd certainly go down, keep an eye on her, but he's not going to try and jump in and help because he knows he would actually screw stuff up. And if Cap decides that she wants to go down, then he'd feel okay leaving Colleen to her own devices, but he'd be there for moral and emotional support. He'd probably actually uh, set up on another little table his metal guitar that he's still tinkering with.
Okay. So Colleen and Dude are in the workshop. That leaves
Yeah.
Cap, Nemo, and Clark to spend time doing whatever they're doing. And by the way, I'm assuming you assume the same, but I'm just going to state it for clarity. Jeff, when you make those rolls on the puzzle box, it's not because that's the first time you've touched it in a week. I assume that Clark
I'm
has been.
fiddling with it constantly.
Yes. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well,
Same
I
with
can
Colleen
fiddle
and
and
her puzzle.
okay, I can fiddle and flip through looking for news on mercenary companies and the Cardinal Suns while I do that.
Okay.
I don't really have any other ideas to do on the shift right now, so
Okay. Um, let me touch on Cap and Nemo real quick before um, going into what will probably be a little bit more of an extended scene with uh, Dude and Colleen.
Cap will, discuss, like, she'll actually come and find Clark
I'll be
and
in the bridge.
hang out with him for a bit and see, like what kind of pick his brain a little bit for, what kinds of things is he thinking about. I'm sorry, I'm having a little brain power trouble this morning.
That's okay. I'm actually going to get back to
It's
you
a
on that.
long week, yeah.
It's okay. I'm going to get back to you on that so you've got a little bit of time to think on it. But I know that
Yep.
Cap is going to go talk to Clark. Nemo,
Mm-hmm.
is there anything in particular that Nemo is doing?
Nothing aside the usual, monitoring channels, both for the local color and for any mentions of our experimentation with the device, and just in general, keeping keeping an eye on the device in case it starts doing weird stuff again.
Okay. So is he in the workshop with with Clark and not Clark, with Dude and Colleen? Or is he just keeping an eye on readings?
Just keeping an eye on readings.
All right. Dude and Colleen. Primarily Colleen, but Dude is present. Your equipment is set up, and you can start trying different things, taking different readings. I'm going to do this a little bit differently with a question and answer method. Basically, setting a DC and letting you ask a question, and based on how much higher, if you beat the DC, and based on how much higher than the DC you get, letting you either ask for more details on that answer or ask another question. And the standard scale for that would be, for instance, if I set the DC at 6, you'd ask a question. If you'd rolled an 8, you'd get one more question. If you rolled a 9, you'd still only get one more question, but 10. So every 2 higher is more information or another question. So let's start off with a program roll and see how far her analysis into these scans goes.
I just want to yell 9 repeatedly.
Of course you do. You're German.
9?
That probably offended somebody somewhere, but that's okay.
How can it offend somebody somewhere if I am actually German?
Nick, somebody will take it as a Hitler joke. Oh wait, it was. Somebody will be
9?
offended that it's a Hitler joke.
Someone will be offended that I'm German. That's racist.
Alright, go ahead and hit that roll. No.
9, it's a 10.
You're fine with a 10? You're not going to re-roll that?
Not at this point.
Okay.
Did you take the higher roll?
I'd like to keep that for something if it's like, hey, you're about to blow the ship up.
Okay, that's probably a smart move. So, that is enough for a question. Go ahead and ask a question that you're hoping to get answers from on the scan. And, by the way, if I say, no, you can't get that information, I will not count that as one of your questions.
Alright, using the scanner and kind of analyzing the surface structure, and she would pay particular attention kind of how the energy distribution is. Is there a way to determine if that thing has an interface? Basically, like, is there a button? I mean, there's obviously nothing that's super obvious, but for example, if it's operated, say, by touch, are there areas where, let's say, there are electric fields that look like they might be responsive?
Yes, actually, the sphere seems like it is the most receptive to any kind of interaction. She probably gets Dude to put his finger on it at some point, or test it through some other means, but that is actually doing something inside the device. It seems to be exactly what she's asking about. That's the interface.
It's like I had a week to think about that.
I couldn't catch that. What was that?
I said it's like I had a week to think about it.
How weird. Clearly, Colleen is stuck in a time loop. Has she learned how to sing in French?
No, but she's...
Okay, then not a time loop. Never mind.
Well, she is taking a jump to the left, so...
And then I step to the right.
Yes.
Okay. You meet the threshold by more than 2, so you've got another more detail or another question.
Detail or question.
And I don't
go
mind
with
if
the
you pool thoughts with other players here either. Out of character.
I would say more detail. personally. If she's figured out that that's the interface, okay. Then what does it do? Like, is there a power off button?
I'll
I mean,
point out
it's,
that question, M, would actually be a new question.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll keep the constraints of more detail to within the same question that was asked.
all right. Knowing that that is the interface, yes. Can she find out more detail on how that interface would operate? And yes, at some point you would have Clark put the finger on it.
I'm just
Sure.
including that in the original question. It's operated just by touching it, basically. Touching it and moving your finger along it. It doesn't seem to react to other objects. It is actually reacting to, well, you touching it with a finger, with a living finger. Or a Nemo finger, apparently.
All right. In that case, let's go with another question. Can she make out more detail on the energy conversion process it's doing? Basically, what is it? Can she find out more what it's doing with the energy it's getting, and maybe even get an inkling of what it might be used for after it's doing whatever it is? I mean, obviously, it's going around with mass. We know that because it's lighter.
Okay. And one more thing that I'll point out is the more detail is just whatever I decide to add on. It's not directed, so there's no real extra questions on it.
That's fine.
So the energy conversion that she's seeing, what she's able to figure out is that it's not actually converting energy. Through some careful analysis of the energy going in and coming out, she can confirm that it is completely different energy. She can also confirm that it is metaspace, and doing some clever lookup and comparison with the ship's drive readings, it appears to be the metaspace that you're currently parallel to. There's actually the metaspace that's parallel to you in the real world. You're in the real world, metaspace is over there. That is actually coming through this device, through that sphere, and leaving out the other side.
So it's currently like folding metaspace through itself.
Yeah. You have rolled high enough to get another question. Or more detail on either of the questions you already asked.
In that case, more detail on what it's doing with metaspace.
Enhance.
Would you like to know more?
Except in this case, the enhance actually works.
Hey, it works in the movies. Urge to know more rising.
So more detail on what it's doing with the metaspace.
Yeah, especially in regard to the idea of that Flesh and I heard about white holes.
Colleen's gotten about as much information as she's going to get at this time. With new insights or more information from other sources, she may be able to get more detail about this. But for now, the tools that she has, the information that she has, the directions that she's going, she's not able to get more detail on that. That does not count as another question, but it did take some time for her to hit that
Okay,
roadblock.
okay. In that case, she would. I mean, she would actually try to at least interact with it. And the reason she's not having do it. Did we ever figure out if they all have cancer now?
It hasn't been long enough for cancer to be detected yet.
Do his testicles look larger?
It was what?
Are you looking?
I mean, that was a fun answer, but yeah, you guys can certainly take some time to analyze their hands. I believe you actually took Nemo's hand, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nobody give
Eventually,
it
he'll need
back.
that back.
Mm-hmm.
Does he though?
He does. The hand is actually part of his core structure, and he does suffer some debility from it, but not nearly as much as an
A
android
human?
would be expected
Mm-hmm.
to, or human. Yeah, yeah. It's like having a for him. It's like a phantom limb. He There's no actual pain or, well, there's obviously a physical disability, but there's no like ongoing pain or mental debility. It's just there's something there. He knows there's supposed to be something there, and it's itching programmatically. Yeah,
Sounds like fun.
core structure of Ada's, like their actual skeletal framework, contains code that they suffer when they actually get dismembered, if they're active,
Yeah.
or they lose access to parts of their memory in some cases. But for Nemo, that wasn't. It's not too bad. He's Nemo or Mel. Nemo has a lot of redundancies built into his runtime system that make that almost trivial for him.
Practical. Good to know.
It's still not something that he can
Still like
replace easily.
it's still like the handbag when you're done with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Normally, even just changing the flesh of an Ada is enough to really fuck with them. And that's just superficial.
All right, but yeah, Colleen would have the scanners running, and she would actually put her hands on the sphere. That will play into the question of kind of how, basically, to get in. The question is kind of how can she operate that thing? So she's kind of trying very, very slight, say, touch movements and see how the energy readings react to basically figure out the interface.
Okay. Um, this is going to also be kind of the more information that you would have gotten for the interface or from the interface question. So I'm basically just lumping the two together.
Okay.
In TouchNet, Colleen feels floaty and sinky at the same time. And the energy readings that she's seeing as she touches it and moves her fingers or hand across it, um, it looks a lot like navigational data. Like the movements of her hands are taking um, whatever's inside that sphere, whatever is going on inside that sphere, and changing it just just slightly. How that looks on the outside is the same the same energy, metaspace energy, is going into it, and the same metaspace energy that she expects to see is coming out of it, but seems to be from a different direction.
All right, in that case, can she figure out that direction? I mean, once again, with the idea of the white holes,
Mm-hmm.
can she figure out the dimensions that thing is operating on? As in, is it fourth dimensional or even more if we go with like parallel universes, world reality, so to speak?
Metaspace is already kind of a fourth dimensional construct. Um,
But yeah, that's
it's
kind of what she's checking if it goes
yeah,
beyond that.
it does not go beyond that. In her fiddling about, I want to give you a little bit more information than just that little bit, that little blurb, because it's gonna be a while before I let you make these checks again. um, with that fiddling about, um, she can kind of she recenters it and kind of creates a crude rudimentary map analog with where where it seems to be positioning in relation to the stars nearest you. She figures out she can slide in this direction for a certain amount of time, and okay, there's a greater thrum at this point. There's something strong at this point. Move back to center, go in a different direction, which corresponds metaspatially, not physically, but metaspatially, to another star, and she can time the time her interaction with it with how far it is metaspatially to that star, and it relates. So your interactions with the thing are apparently guiding whatever is in there or doing something navigational wise to different stars, and there is a clear change in the feeling when you're touching it, when you've navigated whatever the internals of it toward a star or toward a strong gravity well. It reacts slightly to moons.
Hmm.
That's the end of her questions, but this has given her enough information that she can spend some time trying to construct a an outward visual map so that something can read the energy coming off that thing.
Yeah, I was just
And
gonna say, can she? I mean, it will be an ongoing project, but can she rig some sort of, I don't want to say API here, that interacts with our navigation computer? That basically that thing can translate eventually. That is basically
uh,
some sort of output.
yeah, that is something that she thinks is possible. She'll need more information on exactly how the navigation of it works first, um, and she can get that without building the visual, but the visual will probably make it easier. So basically, yes, she can get there, but she needs to see what she's seeing first.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
All right, that takes Colleen all day.
But we still
Um,
don't have an off button.
the only interface that Colleen was able to uh, find appears to be purely navigational.
Mhm.
So you could send this thing out into space.
Well, not the thing itself, but the direction of the metaspace coming back into it, or going back out from it. The metaspace coming into it appears to always be where you are. The metaspace going out from it is also from where you are, but from a different direction depending on where it's been navigated to. And that was another clue for her, is when she navigates towards what seems like a strong gravity well, the metaspace current coming out of it, well, coming out of the sphere and into the trapezoid, is from the same direction. Now, I believe that Cap had some conversation with Clark.
Cap will go join Clark on the ship, flopping herself down in her chair.
Hey, you man.
We haven't really gotten a chance to talk a lot.
Not really. Guess you got busy running the ship and all.
Well, I wanted to let you know my reason for taking in the old man and the kid.
Aha.
I know you weren't particularly happy about it, given that their people were shooting at us and hit you.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't think they were going to do us any harm, kid especially. It's just a kid. I really didn't want to be responsible for his death. As far as I know, the first time I've ever killed somebody was on that ship, or was in that tower. And it really didn't make me feel all that good. Even killing people who were attacking us. Couldn't kill a kid.
I understand where you're coming from. I was just concerned is all. You know, someone grows up in an environment like that where you gotta take what you can get when you can take it. It's hard to get back out of it, and I'm just worried about that.
We'll keep a close eye on them. If they start making trouble or start fiddling with things that they're not supposed to, I'll shunt them out the airlock myself.
I guess the good news is I probably don't know enough about the ship to do much with it. Even if they do want to.
I think it would take them a long time to figure out this ship. For one thing, I think it's going to take us a long time to figure out this ship.
Of course.
She's
No,
really special.
yeah, you got that right. I'm just worried about being betrayed. I've got the feeling that we've been betrayed once already, even if we can't remember it.
I agree with you. Hopefully it wasn't one of us. Don't think it was.
Well, wouldn't be a betrayal if it wasn't one of us.
Well, at least not.
You mean like one of us here?
Yeah.
Gotcha. No, I was thinking of that empty pod, the one that was missing.
I agree with you. Very possibly could be whoever was in there.
Mm-hmm.
Or someone who was supposed to go into a pod and didn't.
We'll figure it
And
out.
then took
Which
the
guy?
other person who was with us.
Yep. And to that end, having a working ship would be a good idea, since it looks like we're going to have to track down and get the attention of a mercenary company. They're probably going to have some guns.
I would rather
They
us
won't be
have
able to
guns.
defend themselves.
Yeah. I think we should have some guns ourselves with that.
be a really bad mercenary company if it didn't.
But I just felt like we needed to talk about it.
I'm good. I think we're clear.
All right. Got anything else on your mind?
Nah, I just don't. I know a bunch of y'all concerned about, well, what we may have done before. I just haven't been thinking about it that much. I figure there's no, not much reason to.
I am to a degree, but they also think I'm dead and my record was wiped, so that was a little bit of weight off. Though reputation, people know who we are. Or think they know who we are. That could cause some problems too, but Dude has said this to me before. We've been given a second chance. And can be whoever we want to be at this point. And whoever Porcelain was before, that's not me now.
Right.
And I'm not going to let that define me. So I think we're on the same page there. She'll get up and pat his shoulder and say, I'm glad to have you part of our crew. She'll leave.
Thank you. See you around, Cap.
And she'll head back to her quarters to get some sleep.
All right. That is another day passed. So you're on your 6th day here and have gotten 5 days of rest. That should put everybody. Well, it should put Clark at what, 1 hit point down, or is it
I
full
believe
now?
I'm 2 down.
Okay. And I think Colleen is the only one that still has any system strain.
Dude was only one below me. He should be at 1.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. With one more day of rest, it puts me at 1.
All right. Colleen has tasks ahead of her if she wants to learn anything more about this device. And the rest of you have, well, you're on your 2nd day of the 2 days. Cap wanted to sit around and let Colleen analyze it. What is the plan for the day?
Cat needs a cat.
Sorry. I was muted. I need to go AFK for just a moment. I'll be right back.
Okay. Alright. Everyone else?
Well, I mean, if dude looked really bored at some point, as I said, if he's interested, Colleen would teach him a couple of things about how these things work. But if he looks bored, she's gonna give him the schematics for a drone.
Start building.
Also, I'm gonna need that guitar.
Uh-oh.
Like, you need the guitar finished, or you need the parts in the guitar?
Both.
I can't imagine I put anything in here that we don't have as bits in other parts of scrap.
This thing operates by music. No, it really doesn't, but I wanted the guitar.
I
It
kind of
looks cool.
figured. That's why I'm making it. I'd hate to have to start over again.
That's it. I mean, I think could react to vibration.
Well, if you can find an amp plug on that thing, we'll plug it in and we'll see if it's got the pickups.
No. Imagine for a moment. Let's say we hook this guitar up to that thing. And if it does what I think it might be capable of, imagine you play that guitar and all of time and space folds around you to the rhythm.
Yeah, you're not really selling it very well there. I like that conceptually, but I'd probably rather arrive at that particular train station by a recreational pharmaceutical means than by actual scientific means.
But science is the ultimate drug. Making skill.
Uh-huh.
I just like the idea. Imagine surfing through the universe while playing that guitar.
The Silver Guitar Surfer?
Yes. Great. Now I have Silverhawks in my brain.
I liked that show.
I like that show too.
It's the stupidest show.
Yes.
And to be dumber than Thundercats was pretty spectacular, but yeah.
Yeah, no, nothing. Beat Silverhawks. All right, I'll be back in 1 second.
All right.
Alright.
Does it seem like to dude that Colleen has a decent handle on what she's scanning and all that kind of stuff?
Well, she appears to have reached an impasse.
Okay. Dude will head up to the bridge.
Okay, I'm back again. Sorry about that.
Okay.
I'm assuming Clark and Cap are on the bridge.
I'm not sure this is a new day.
Yes.
Cap.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is it not a new day?
Back.
No,
No, I
it,
think-
it was, and
right.
yeah, they are.
Yeah, that sentence it made sense when I thought about it. I'm not sure. It is a new day.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, the comma wasn't apparent in the. um. So dude comes up on the bridge. Hey to Clark. And kind of nods at Cap.
We get anywhere?
Well, she's getting info out of it.
I hear a large butt coming.
Well, we ain't found a way to turn it off explicitly yet. It's not like she's actually right. It ain't on. Like it's not. Whatever it's doing right now is almost like a byproduct of just it existing, which
That's
is
not
in and of
comforting.
its. Yeah, I was going to say in and of itself is a little frightening because what do we do if we actually do get that thing turned on? But I'm not sure we've got the. I don't know that we could actually figure out how to turn this thing on. I feel like a monkey playing around with a computer terminal. But it feels like it's in a pretty stable place at this point. I feel like it seems like the thing has safety precautions. I don't know. Either that or it's just too powerful to actually screw up. She's certainly getting some interesting stuff out of it, and she seems. She's worried about telling us when she thinks of weird stuff because she doesn't like the fact that her brain knows stuff that the rest of her brain didn't know it knew.
That's all of us.
That's what I told her. She was just worried that we wouldn't believe her if she tried to warn us about something because she couldn't tell us why she was warning us about something. I tried to let her know that's sort of par for the course here and just warn us and we'll, believe her or not believe her, but probably more inclined to believe her. She's a little paranoid.
A little.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're all a little paranoid.
Well,
Oh,
it
she's a
ain't
little.
well, it ain't paranoia if the universe actually does seem to be out to get you, and I think we've got more evidence for that than for just, random paranoia. I think she's going to be fiddling with sensors for another day. I feel like I'm not really contributing much to what she's got going on. She's doing mostly computerized stuff, and man, that's past me. I'm thinking do one last recon with the shuttle down on the planet.
Go back to the station.
Yeah, I feel like it's. I mean, she might find something going on today with what her data's telling her, but I feel like we're safe enough as it is.
Fair enough.
And before we head anywhere, Clark, you want to head down to the range and shoot some stuff?
Hell yeah.
Right on. Cap, I figure we'll go down to the gun range, get a little practice in, and head down the shuttle.
Sounds good.
I figured. I mean, Tom's doing a pretty good job of keeping an eye on things. He certainly seems to be keeping the
4 members of the crew.
our unexpected guests in line. Oh shit!
What?
I I forgot to give Nemo his hand back. That thing's been sitting on my workbench all night.
What
Son
are
of a
you doing
bitch.
with his hand?
Well, I wanted to scan it to make sure it didn't have any weirdness, because like he was touching the thing, and I didn't know what the hell the thing did. So I was like, "Here, give me your hand." It's not. He popped it off, man.
Uh, uh,
And I ran my scans on it, and then I just kind of forgot about the goddamn thing.
Hmm.
I hope he doesn't hold a grudge.
Probably not.
You seen him yet today?
you should put together a little like a little hook that you could plug into his arm and tell him that something went wrong while you're doing your scans. But you made him a new one.
Well, shit, man.
You're not
You're
going
helping.
to tease our we're
Oh,
not going to tease Nemo
oh.
like that.
Oh, and Cat. It's not like
He
he's got
would
a
take
sense
it
of...
way too literally.
Well, that's
Look,
what's funny about it.
We gotta see if his humor programs are running right.
Yeah, shit, man. He's got
This is
weird.
diagnostic.
He's still learning those things.
I know, and this is a good diagnostic test for this shit. Clark, come on, let's go.
I fall him right out the bridge.
We're head down into the
Captain's
workshop.
less than pleased.
They're tear-assing down the hallway like two 12-year-old boys about to head out into the backyard.
Oh dear. Okay, is this what happens instead of going to the gun range?
I guess we'll go after.
Yeah. Depends on how quick we can make a hook.
Well, how closely are you trying to make it resemble the interface part of it resemble where Nemo's hand connects?
I mean, he's not going to spend more than 20 minutes on this, I don't think.
Okay, so a hook with some crude etching on the bottom.
Yeah,
Okay. You can,
like some bits of circuitry wrapped around it that looks like it might have come out of something that was, just...
I was gonna say just draw it on.
Just sort of wrap some wires around it, sort of tie some knots and shit.
Okay. Well, you get to choose which skill you're going to roll for this to see how it looks. Fix will just be functional hook.
Uh-huh. Can I roll a perform check for how good of a joke this is?
Perform would be the joke part of it. Work would let you make it a little bit more artistic.
Uh-huh. Well, see, I got a -1 on that. I can't roll stab.
You can't use stab, no. So what's it gonna be? What's the roll?
He's gonna roll with what he's good at. Fix, because it's
Roll it.
int fix.
Int fix. Okay. He has made a completely functional, strong hook with maybe a little bit embellishment. A hole that could be used to plug something in. It took him about 20 minutes.
What do you think, man?
I think he's gonna like it.
I think it looks good. Well, okay. Grabs the actual hand and like stuffs it in the back pocket or something.
It's a little bit big for a back pocket. It is a whole hand.
All right. Like, yeah, it is. What, the android doesn't have dainty little lady hands?
Nope. Just got normal hands.
Scratch your back with it.
Attach a stick to it and make a back scratcher. Sorry. Amy, like, I mean, we're wearing kind of standard issue ship jumpsuits. He kind of throws it in the chest sort of pocket and zips up just so it's
Oh, I'm
not
sure
obvious.
you've got plenty of pouches for it. I was
Right.
just making a joke about it not
Right.
being too large for a back pocket. Plus,
Well,
would you
but-
really want his hand on your ass?
I was gonna say, does it have Nemo's hand on his butt? Are you grabbing my ass? Sir, from where I am standing, it would be physically impossible for me to grab your ass. I know your tricks.
All right, is Mel back from his AFK?
Oh, that's right. He doesn't even
Oh yeah,
know.
I'm here.
I know.
Okay,
Okay.
how long has Mel been back? Does he know the entire?
Yeah, I was back for all of that.
All right, so
All right.
dude spends like a second or two just kind of, okay,
Yeah.
all right, all right,
Put straight face on.
yeah, taps the communicator. Nemo, where are you at?
Where do you need me to be?
I'm sorry, was that a question at me?
No,
No,
I
I think
said I answered. Where do you need me to be?
Can you come on down to the workshop? I've got your hand. I'm sorry, I forgot about it.
Not a problem. I haven't I haven't had any urgent need of it so far.
That's good. Come on down. I got it all set for you.
I'll be along shortly. And I'll move down there.
All right. Was that over an open channel, or just to Nemo?
I mean, the Hey Nemo, where you at probably would have gone out over an open channel, but
All right.
yeah.
So Cap knows the joke is going down. Nemo approaches the workshop.
Hey, man. Looks over at Clark. Shut up. Shut up.
Cab is not going to have anything to do with this.
So I ran the scans on your hand, and well, it didn't seem to have taken any weird radiation or anything, but
That's good.
I had to make a couple of adjustments. So it ain't quite.
Adjustments?
Well, I had to take a couple bits apart. So like here's what was left, and he holds out the hook. Sorry, man.
You want to go ahead and give a perform check just to see
Yeah.
how
Do I
this
need to
comes
as
out
well?
to Nemo?
Oh, okay.
I was about to ask I was about to ask what's the difficulty of the notice roll to notice that
No,
it's clearly up here.
This is purely on you, Mel. However you want to handle it, just take a look at the perform check and adjust Nemo accordingly.
Well,
Damn.
it's not purely on me because I have a specific ability related to difficulty of notice checks.
You certainly do.
Hence why I asked.
Does Nemo want to use that ability?
Yes, that was actually the
Okay.
activate hyper acuity.
Yep. I'm just gonna pull it up real quick so I can
As he
refresh my memory
studies
on
Clark
what
and
I
Dude.
wrote. Where are we at? Run times chameleon.
Okay. Nemo tilts his head slightly as he's looking at Dude and Clark. Quite amusing. May I have my hand back now, please? And I'll need it to function at I'll need it to function at optimal capacity.
That last sentence is probably lost in the just dude just lost it, laughing his ass off. Like doubled over, just waving the hook just in the air, just like,
You sure you don't want that, man?
that would look good on you. Oh man.
Nemo will
Yeah.
walk over to where his hand is currently hidden and retrieve it.
All right, man.
With uncanny ability, Nemo seemed to be able to spot it.
Yeah.
Thank you. This has been very informative. I'll add a new subdirective to my humor files indicating that dismembering is funny.
Well, I mean, maybe.
I look at dude and just kind of wave my hand over my head.
Yeah, I think so, man. Do you want the hook too? Maybe like have it for like Sunday's
Right.
best or something.
I mean,
I think it'd look good on you.
Look intimidating with it.
Yeah, man.
It'd be a bit of a disguise, you know?
Mm-hmm.
With some adaptation and additional work on my coding, I believe that replacement body parts would be entirely possible to employ, not necessarily restricted to only hands. That is an interesting thought for later.
Right? Somebody walking down the street and looking at you and say, "Hey, is that android from that murdering crew that been terrorizing the galaxy?" And the guy next to him be like, "Nah, man, he got a hook. That guy don't have a hook."
I was considering one line of full body modifications. Your face, perhaps.
Like an eye patch.
You are awful. Awful.
Can we have
Maybe one of yours.
I just
The aesthetic is quite pleasing. Your eyes and your nose, maybe.
But not like actually my eyes and my nose.
Well, I'd need an accurate model. I'll be more than willing to return them once I'm done with them.
Well, dude slaps him on the shoulder. You're all right, man.
Thank you.
Hey, you want to come down to the
reattach-
gun range?
I'll
Shoot some
reattach
shit?
the hand. I don't believe that would interfere with my current duties, so yes, I believe I will accept.
All right. Dude claps him around the shoulder, and puts another one on the Clark's shoulder. Let's go.
Hey, maybe if you wanted to, you could hide like a gun inside your arm or something.
Oh shit, man,
How
that'd be
about
awesome.
that?
I believe some essential systems might be in the way, or at least severely limit the space. But possibly with some more modification, there additional storage capacity could be made in the chest area.
Well, I could make you like one of those like bodybuilder arms. Like you get like
There you go.
like-
Just make more room.
yeah. So it looks like you got like big giant muscles and shit, and you
Android
kind of
on
technically do
steroids.
because you're like android and shit. But like inside, you got like pockets and holes and shit, and like pop stuff out, man.
It's possible that could be functional, though. Careful not to unbalance my systems.
Well, we could do like a whole body suit kind of thing, like where man, it would make you look super intimidating too.
It's tricky enough getting all systems to talk to each other at the same time. Have you ever considered how much work it is to make sure your legs are both moving and your legs are moving in the same rhythm?
I don't know that I'd ever given it much thought. I think the whole point is I'm not supposed to think about it.
Honestly, it's a wonder you ever get any. Honestly, it's a constant wonder to me how you ever get anything done with coordinating all those independent systems.
It kind of does it itself, you know. I don't think about it.
Yeah.
How you do it?
Yes, but I divert immense processing power to the process at all times and require substantial downtime. Require substantial daily downtime in order to keep my systems maintained.
Couldn't you just like have some sub processors that do exactly that, and then your main processor wouldn't even have to worry about it?
And that's without the additional stress of maintaining an internal digestive system as well. I wouldn't even like to imagine that.
That does kind of manage itself.
Yes, but imagine if it were to malfunction.
Yeah, well, they call that like disease. That's what we got the med bay for.
It's just curious how you organic life forms do this so effortlessly, and don't seem to consider it don't seem to consider it being curious at all.
Uh, yeah, I suppose. I mean, that's the whole
Balancing,
point of millions of years of evolution.
balancing and maintaining the internal flora of your intestines should be far more challenging than hitting a small object with a ballistic weapon at a moderate range.
You'd think so, but man, my aim still sucks shit. But I haven't had a problem digesting lunch so far.
Mm.
Even with all that
I
spam.
was gonna say, speak for yourself. I took 20 minutes on the shitter this morning.
Oh God.
That's good to know, man. Let's go shoot some shit.
It's all that. It's too damn salty.
Well, you've got that kind of borderline crunchy meal stuff from Mona.
I believe we will go and spend some time shooting at things, which Nemo is terrible at as well.
Well, Gerline is sending Dude a message asking how the drone is coming along.
Ask her if she wants a hook on it.
In fact, it has a hook on it. Granted, the hook is for a gun, but yes.
Dude sends back that it's still in the planning stages. Might take a bit.
Colleen officially calls bullshit on that because she already planned the whole thing.
She did send him the schematics.
Uh-huh. Planning the work, not the device.
Clearly, you guys need somebody with administer on the ship.
Yeah, that'll
we
keep
do.
I do have a zero in
I
it.
was gonna say, doesn't Tom have administer?
He might.
No, I'm pretty sure he does, because he went through the files on Stat.
Yeah. Yeah. I keep wondering what exactly I could use Mister on, but I have a 0 in it, so.
Fine. In case she's sending it to Tom as well. Hey, Dude needs some organizing.
Pretty much for exactly this.
So, out of curiosity, would searching like programs in a legal, straightforward manner be administered then?
Programs how?
Like if you were looking for like data and databases or stuff like that.
Yeah, you could use administer for that.
Okay, cool. Kept in mind.
Yeah. It is also good for managing workflow. You guys may be able to shave some time off some things, or more efficiently organize, where you're putting your work so that you don't repeat stuff as much.
Okay. Okay.
I even wrote a focus for it.
I need to figure out where that stuff even is again. Your, I think you have a link somewhere for your.
I do. It should be at the top of the rules discussion, or not the top, but it's a pinned message in rules discussion.
Yeah, this Dropbox with all the stuff.
Yeah, that's it. What's the date on the house rules in the Dropbox?
Oh, actually, this goes to. Hold on.
Let's see. I've actually got a link over here. So, 5.3 and
14.
rules 5.3. Okay, so yeah, the Dropbox house rules are updated. I've only added one focus since you last had a chance to look at it, and it was from somebody in the Stars Without Number Discord was asking. What were they asking? Administer came up. Yeah, they actually were looking for a focus for administer, and so it spun my brain. Anyways, sorry for the sidetrack. Dude, Clark, and Nemo spent some time at the range, avoiding Colleen's work order. And you get up to around, say 9:30, 8 to 9:30ish. And well, would say that Dude and Nemo would have learned enough from Clark, assuming Clark is trying to do any kind of instruction at all, which I would also give to administer.
What about instruction on the gun range as the minister?
Well, yeah,
Oh,
if
so, like-
if Clark is trying to give them any actual instruction in how to handle weapons,
Sure.
then I would give that to. That would also be administer. You don't necessarily need to roll unless you really want to. If he's really trying, then go ahead and roll administer. But if he's just
I
kind
mean, at the
of
very least, if they're
cursory,
completely untrained, we need to teach them trigger discipline.
I figured that's where he would go with that. Yeah.
That'd be like the most important thing. What do you roll with administer? What's your attribute?
For this, you can use either charisma or intelligence.
Definitely. Okay.
Sufficient to actually pretty good at getting the points across. They know what the safety is.
At the very least, they're not going to tag their allies, or I think that's what it's called, tagging when you point the gun at them.
Oh yes. Yeah.
When you're carelessly waving around all that stupid shit.
And either one of you could easily use these exercises as justification for putting points into shoot at a later time if you want. Otherwise, it's just some background knowledge of how to hold the gun without looking like you're going to shoot the ficus next to you.
At the very least, if they get an automatic weapon, they're not going to recoil and shoot themselves with it.
It's probably still best not to give them an automatic weapon.
I think I gave an automatic weapon to Colleen. I think it was.
The combat shotgun? Yes, you did. And it's a shotgun. That's even worse. She will get flattened by that. Alright. You guys have most of the day for either spending time in orbit around Rain Lalati, going down to the surface of Rain Lalati, or heading back to Henry Station, or anything else you conceive of.
Stuff and things. I think we're gonna go down to. We're gonna take a trip down to Rain Lalati.
Okay. You know, I don't believe I had Colleen roll a hiding check in this region of space. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way, just in case I need to roll a detection check.
Well, if that's what she's doing, she would also scan for other things. So I can do both.
Well, the hiding check would have been as soon as you entered this region.
We did that
Do you remember what the result
originally.
was? Because I didn't write it down like a bad DM.
No, that was weeks ago.
It was a very long time ago.
I mean, technically, this would have to happen like every 24 hours because that's a new period.
That's true.
So,
So let's go ahead and just roll that. That is not too bad. And so that's let's see, your program 2 plus intelligence plus 1. Um, and
I mean, the macro has it all.
okay, cool.
In that case, as I said, if that's what she's doing, then she would also run a scan. Do you want me to roll for that as well?
Yeah, go for it. Is that including? Is that passive?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hey, Tor. Good to see you again. You've got 3 other towers down on Rain Lalati that you can veer towards.
I'm trying to remember what was the one we. Spooky
We've-
Tower was the one we went to, right?
Yes,
To
we
save
went
the
to
2
Spooky,
people.
and we went to Asshole Tower. Is the one we went to first.
Right. So we
So
got
we've got Dead, Smiling, Freezer Hut.
right. I feel like Dead People Tower might be the most likely to not have, people in it.
People.
But
Technically, in that case, actually, Smiling Tower might be the choice. That's the one with pieces missing.
that's true.
The
Probably
Pac-Man
has
Tower.
the least environmental integrity and probably the easiest to get into too.
Yeah, well, my question was, do we know what killed those people? I mean, if it was like a raid or something, the good stuff may have been taken. If it was like an atmospheric failure, then the good stuff might still be there.
Yeah.
Your Colleen's initial scans weren't really able to tell much except for the energy readings and some obscured visual data which she was managed to piece out from through the clouds. Mostly she's getting that from the energy readings.
Mhm.
Also, which she was able to manage to pierce through the clouds. nothing stopping you from going down to the surface and checking one tower, and then if you don't like it, going to a different one.
Yeah.
It'll just
It's
take more
true.
time.
Yeah.
Your ship up here moves a bit faster than the shuttle down on the surface.
Yeah. What do you think, Cap?
Actually, that might be backwards. Let me take a look at that. Because the shuttle only has an in-system drive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go to Dead People Tower.
Okay, no, it doesn't actually change the speed. It is still treated as having a drive 1 for maneuvering transit and system transit, but just can't make interstellar drills.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, you chose Dead People Tower?
Yeah. Unless people have somewhere else they prefer to go.
Oh,
Sounds good to
actually,
me.
my macro was wrong. My scan roll is too higher. Because in program, I forgot to modify the macro. Since it's +4, +2 from cruiser, -2 for passive. So it's 12. So it's a +4 at the end.
Okay.
That's why I was looking at this. I did it for detect, but it for basically hiding, but I did not upgrade scanning.
Okay.
You lazy son of a bitch.
Yeah, well.
Okay, one moment.
Un momento, por favor.
Alright, Dead People Tower.
Do we see dead people?
Not yet, you don't?
Just
As
the tower.
before they leave, Colleen would point out that they probably will need her down there.
You sure you're up for going?
Yeah, I'm fine. It needs a break. Been peering in all sorts of weird dimensions.
Is it not gonna put you back on making analysis on that thing's too far?
No, also, you probably will need me down there.
Well, you ain't wrong, but I figured we could let you by yourself to take a look at it. But if you want to come down and be cold, I'm not going to stop you.
I take it we're taking the spacesuits.
Yes, we kind of
Otherwise-
have to.
So cold is not really an issue.
I was making a facetious, kind of funny comment. You were supposed to just kind of take that as a joke and laugh at it.
I will have to update my routines for that.
Ah. There we go. You know, Cap, we're gonna have to put together some kind of intergalactic comedy tour. We got enough comedians on this ship to staff a good-sized club.
Oh, yes, you're all just funny men.
Hey, we got some funny ladies here.
I mean, I could program something that makes Nemo laugh.
Involuntarily?
Yeah,
No.
Hold on to that. Dude leads in real close to Colleen. We'll talk later.
okay.
Why would I wish to laugh involuntarily?
That's the whole point.
You wouldn't. That's the point. It's for their amusement, not yours.
Dude tries to look innocent.
Yeah, you're laughing for us, not at us.
I would rather get the free will enslaving me to a program be amusing.
You enslaved anyway?
I mean, when you put it like that,
He's not enslaved.
Yes, he is. He has to obey every command you give him. I programmed him that way.
To be fair,
All right,
Colleen
we're going
actually
down to the
only
planet.
registered Cap as the owner. He was already programmed that way.
Yep. He's literally being owned. And Colleen knows that because she did it.
Okay. You guys are heading down to Dead
I
People
highly
Camp.
I highly value my ability to make choices on my own volition. Please do not do anything to it. Please do not try anything to remedy that.
I have no intention of doing so.
I wasn't referring to you, Captain.
Yeah, all right, man. I'm just trying to have a little fun.
Fun sucker.
Who all is getting in the shuttle?
Everybody.
It's all right. You're taking the whole crew down. Well, the whole PC crew.
Yep.
Is anybody going to be using that vac skin?
Colleen?
All right. Nick, I assume you have or know the stats of the vac skin. Can add it to your character sheet for the trip out there. And Clark.
Yep.
Clark is actually a good enough pilot and has made this trip a couple of times that he thinks he might actually even be able to minimize the electrical interference from the storm.
Mm-hmm.
Where is...
That would be good.
There we go. Okay, and there we go.
Oh, is this something I have now?
Yeah, this is something that you've technically always had.
Oh,
It just
oh,
hasn't
oh.
actually come up.
Huh. Wow.
Ah.
Okay, that's actually kind of good.
Ah,
That's
Clark get a
basically a
knack.
focus. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's where I
Well,
got my bomb making shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically a focus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because that second line doesn't specify the attack has to be from a ground-placed anti-ship defense gun or anything.
that's correct. It does not.
Hmm.
I am, however, treating the clouds for Clark as ground-placed anti-ship defenses.
Hmm.
So, Clark, and I'm modifying it slightly for this. You will not gain the full benefit of the focus here, or the special knack for this roll, but he gets to make a roll, which is the slight modification. If that makes sense.
Hmm. Wait, say it again? I
He's
get
not
to...
gonna be rolling the 3d6 for this roll.
Okay.
The fact that he's
Oh,
getting the roll is
but
the
I get
benefit
a
he's
roll.
getting.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
So just a straight 2d6?
It's actually a pilot skill check.
Okay. Oh yeah, it says pilot skill check right there. Gotcha. All right. With int, right?
Correct.
Cool deal.
And hang on. Where did my PDFs go? Okay. He's not quite able to minimize or reduce the amount of storm and interference the shuttle is taking on this pass. But he saw a window of diffraction in the cloud that he thought he could slip through, and that's an improvement. That's not something that he was really able to. Well, he was trying to and starting to identify how this would work out, and he's pretty sure he's on the correct path. He just missed the timing by a split second.
Mhm.
Actually, let me take a look real quick. Back to my storms. And okay. The field takes 1 point, down from 10 to 9.
That seems so bad.
Yeah, it's only been taken between 1 and 2 points each trip, with each point being about 10,000 worth of salvage that you have to spend.
Oh.
So it's got a whole 10 of these. You can make plenty of trips up and down. Well, 2 full trips up and down at full damage, but it would get costly, of course. Alright. Ship takes 1 damage. Shields take 1 damage. As you are approaching Dead People Tower,
DED, dead.
No, Colleen knows how to spell.
you're approaching a triangular tower with wave curved sides. So it's a triangle, but the sides of each are essentially a sine wave. Spirals. In addition to that, the points of the triangle actually spiral circular. 100 stories high, thereabouts. Goes straight up to the clouds. You're not landing on top of this one either. Its particular design and structure appears to be a true testament of Rain Lotti's once proud building and construction techniques. You get closer and start picking up better sensor readings. There appears to be breathable atmosphere inside the tower and heat.
Do we pick up any people?
As your scans are running through, you do see what look like could be individual people, but they are scattered throughout the entirety of the 100 floors. You see a sign, or a building sign near the top of it, and also going down it. Apparently this is Terracom Global. Are you going to look for anything aside from a place to land or enter?
Should we reach out to those people that we can see?
Are there any communication traffics at all coming from the tower?
There are not.
If
So
there
they
are any,
probably
if
haven't
there are any
heard of
survivors
us.
in there, they're not broadcasting anything. It's not on any unsecure channels.
Mm, so they don't have any comm channels that we can detect.
Correct.
Colleen,
Correct.
are there
And
any unsecured comm channel, or are there any secured comm channels?
Well, are there? You will check for that.
Go ahead and roll in program. She's not detecting any transmissions coming from this tower, secured or open.
Looks like they're dead inside. There are no channels. At least none that are out here.
Hmm.
They might have hardlined it.
You could have, yeah. Hmm. So we have no way of trying to communicate with them.
None that you're aware of right now.
All right, let's try to find a place in.
Okay.
All right. What kind of land spots do I got?
Landing here actually seems to be pretty easy once you start looking for it. There is approach and clearance for a landing pad on the 30th floor. As you're approaching it, the tower itself does open a communication channel with you. And so now Colleen's detecting something. Nemo is receiving this as well.
Go for Colleen.
Bob's Pizza.
Sounds like an automated system that is requesting your authorization to land.
Can we speak to someone in the tower so we can get that?
Colleen presses pound for operator.
Colleen, what?
Presses the pound sign for operator.
The automated system informs you politely that it is an automated system and requests your authorization code.
Well, seeing that we have one. Question. Since the thing obviously is designed to be send and receive, and we now have an open line, could Colleen basically spoof an authorization code?
She can't use hacking through this communication channel, so she can't do it that way. It may be possible to try and hack into this building if she could access a line somewhere, or to even whatever comm pads are down there. It may require line shunts, but that's something that she can hack in and gain that data, gain that information. But from here, you would basically just be guessing at an authorization code.
Try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, do you have a way to at least land so I could get at one of those lines, or at least stabilize us somewhere near one?
Well, you think they're going to do something if I mean, I guess they're going to do something if I try to land on the tower.
Well, you're not seeing any weapons on the tower.
You see any weapons?
Tell you what, give me a few minutes here. Let's send Alexa out to scan for that.
Okay.
Not that there's just a panel that slides open and then a bright flashing light that takes our picture before we die.
Nah, I wouldn't do that to you.
Ah. Alright, but yeah, in that case, Colleen puts Alexa into the airlock and has Alexa basically do a flyby and kind of scan for hidden gun emplacements.
Okay.
Or maybe even basically power lines to get an idea where there might be a data line she can access.
The power lines she's seen look like they're standard for a structurally intact building. Um, they are not outputting as much power as you saw on other obviously populated towers. It looks like the system is just either being more efficient or doing less. So she does have access to what could be. She can find some kind of data lines. She does not see any kind of gun emplacements using Alexa to scout around.
Well, nothing obvious, so unless they have something super sneaky, super nasty, if you can get me to those lines, I might be able at least to figure out if we can just make our own authorization code. Alternatively, we could just land and see what happens. But then people on this planet tend to be shooty. Well, what do you want us to do, Cap?
Send the drone out and see if we can get an authorization code somehow.
I have to get manual access. And I know where to go, but that's the best Alexa can do.
All right.
But yeah, she also transmits that data to Clark, so he can maybe figure out where there's a good spot where he could maybe either land the shuttle or get the shuttle there that she can get access.
Well, the design
Yeah,
of the
let's see if we.
shuttle makes it. It is not as friendly to just kind of hovering and clamping anywhere as the last one was. This one, it's aside from the curves in the wall, it's just straight up. It's
Well,
also
that's why
not all glass.
Well, that's why he's the genius pilot.
It'd basically just be hovering somewhere.
Yes.
Is there anything in particular you want him to look for, Jeff?
I mean, they don't have any guns, so that's not really a consideration to our knowledge. Um, uh, well, other than giving access to Colleen, nothing's coming to mind.
Now, are you just looking for somewhere to land the shuttle, or perhaps I'm misunderstanding what the intent is?
I thought I could put the shuttle someplace where Colleen could mess with their systems to get authorization code.
Okay, so trying to, yeah, that's actually easy. You can hover um, near the side of the building. You can land on, well, the landing platform. Colin can direct you to any number of data line locations where you could hover, lower the what's it called? The back flap,
The-
the cargo
the-
door, shuttle bay door,
Okay.
the back flap. Um,
Well, it kind of is a backflap.
That's what we're calling it. That's the official term. The shuttle's back flap. You doing okay
You
on
mean
the
the-
back flap there, Colleen?
Yes,
You mean
I
the
believe the technical term is butt flap.
you mean the cargo ramp
Cargo ramp. Yes.
or shuttle ramp?
Shuttle, yeah, well, cargo ramp, shuttle ramp, that's what I'm looking for. It is, the ramp. So yeah, you can hover.
Exity outy door.
You can hover somewhere where that can be lowered as long as you guys are all in your suits and you don't have any atmosphere or oxygen inside the shuttle, obviously. And Colin can fiddle about with the wall, should probably need to get into the wall some.
Okay. In that case, can we saw people through windows, right? So can I
No, you saw people through with IR.
with IR?
Yeah, you haven't actually seen anybody with a naked eye.
Guess they'll park away from windows or anything that I think they might be able to see us from.
Okay. And so you're taking the hover near the side of a building near a data line approach?
Sounds like it.
Okay.
Yep.
This is not a difficult maneuver for Clark, so unfortunately, Jeff, you still don't get to roll any dice.
That's fine. It means I can't fail.
Yes, it does. You guys all have your suits on and primed up. You can lower the back flap and let Colleen try and do her thing.
Yay, the thing.
The thing, yep. So, I'm assuming that Colleen takes her data pad, her tools, and tries to find what she'll need to do to hack in through the system.
Yes. A fair and valid assumption.
And with just a little bit of effort, she's going to need to get through the wall at least some, so that she can get access to the data line. She doesn't have to clamp straight onto the data line. She can connect somewhat remotely, but she needs to be able to get closer. And of course, if there's oxygen in that building, then any drilling is more of a risk.
Well, it's the dead people tower anyhow. But yeah, she's gonna point it out to Dude and basically let him do the mechanical work.
Okay.
Because he seems to be better in the destruction business and the physical business.
Did Dude bring the laser?
The mining laser?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know that we would have really taken it off the shuttle. It seems like a perfectly. I mean, we were planning on going
Well,
back
you-
down to.
You have it off the shuttle.
Yep, the last time we used it was against the ship. We won.
Oh, right, on the outside of the ship.
Mhm.
I mean, the plan was to go back down to the planet. So I feel like we would have stocked the shuttle back up with everything we were going to need. So
As a
when we were done with
GM,
them,
I would like you
Yeah, I
guys
know.
to have actually done that.
I mean, in all fairness, we might not necessarily need the mining laser. Does the toolkit have something, at least like a basic drill?
You can try and use that.
I remember like a power drill. Yeah.
Hmm. You do have a toolkit on your character sheet, right?
Yeah.
Yup.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, if I absolutely have to, we definitely brought the mining laser, but if the toolkit can do it.
You can certainly try it with a toolkit, yeah.
In that case, dude is being handed a power drill. Or whatever drill he's asking for.
Okay. Dude gets to it.
Dude will get her the standard drill.
He's not getting it for her. He's being asked to do the drilling.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. He's got the toolkit stashed in his backpack, so
Okay. Go ahead and give me a int fix check. You've got some data from Colleen's drone, so you know where you're drilling.
I just realized I still had my combat shotgun readied. Put that back to stowed. Hoo!
Oof.
Damn it, you're an expert at these things.
Well, that don't help when I roll a 1 and a 2.
No, you're an expert at these
I
things.
know. It's just whether to use this for that. Does this seem like something we only get one shot at?
Well, it has some definite risks to it. You are drilling into a building that has oxygen inside of it.
Yeah, imagine a breach.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll use that.
Okay.
Not
We're
much
terrible
better.
at this.
Rolling d6s. And that's with a +2.
It is. This is better. Um, Dude is able to drill in deeply enough that Colleen can get a better data signal. She does have to have him chip away a cone just to get her data pad close enough to make a good stable connection. Otherwise, she would risk that being a severe hindrance in any attempt to hack. Um, and hooray, there's no explosion.
Hooray!
Mm.
You don't explode.
Or at least none that you
Oth-
can feel. You wouldn't
Yeah.
see it necessarily.
Otherwise, it would be Dead People Tower with Dead People Shuttle.
Oh, yay for not exploding.
And Colleen,
Heck,
yep. At some point, I'm actually gonna get the hacking rules into a handout just to make them easy to pull up.
I mean, as long as I'm the only one doing it, I have it. So,
Yeah, but I'd like to be on the same page too.
ah.
Go ahead and roll her check.
You rang?
This is actually another tower that seems to have been refitted with uh, standard data protocols. If a little bit outdated, but it's still familiar to Colleen. So
I mean,
she doesn't.
truthfully, what I was gonna say with the data protocols, I think it would be actually unusual for them to have complete different ones. I mean, different culture, I could see it, or like a completely alien species.
Well, remember these buildings are pre-Scream.
But yeah, but our technology is based on it, so there are.
Not, not actually. It isn't. Um, because so much technology was lost with
Okay.
the loss of communication from the Scream. There are some foundations, but it's like the data protocols are a tree growing up from a network, and pre-Scream was really advanced up the branches in one direction. Once that all got cut off, you were back close to the trunk and took a different branch from that initial branch. Probably took several
Okay.
different branches. So that's kind of the justification for why there's different languages, different cultures, severely different cultures, and potentially different everything everywhere.
Hmm.
However, this tower and the previous one did refit to at some point in after the Scream to be the same as the rest of the galaxy is using. Probably because they wanted to use it themselves. And whoever was at the tower would have had, or on the planet, would have had difficulty with that. Um, so she does have data protocols, and what is she actually trying to accomplish with her hacking attempt?
Basically, I mean, the ideal situation is if she can spoof basically an authorization code, or instead of spoofing, if she can actually basically trick the system into handing one out.
I'm just trying to get a grip on grip here on does let's say for example that the building would require a line shunt to do that. If she's trying to get um, answer a specific question, what is the data or how can I spoof this? And that specific question requires a line shunt to get. Has she wasted that hacking attempt and have to roll again? And my read on this is, yeah, I'm not seeing anything where it converts a specific hacking attempt to let you get more information, get information about the requirements. You either have to figure that out first, or assume that there are no tricky requirements.
Well, in that case, yeah, she would. In that case, she would make it general information, as in basically find out how to get a code and if it's possible.
Okay. Either way, it would result in a second check being at +1 difficulty.
Yes.
Either ask, do I need line shunts for this, and then make an inquiry if you don't, or you ask a question, find out you need line shunts, and then, well, then you'd have to ask the question, where can the line shunts be placed at the higher difficulty? So
Mhm.
you can try going straight to the question and hope you get an answer, or ask if you need line shunts, which in your case, there's no reason to because you don't have any spare line shunts. But for future knowledge, when you've got more line shunt surplus. Um,
Yes.
here, your somehow I didn't actually write out and plan for a hacking attempt.
That seems.
That is dumb.
An oversight on your part?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is an oversight. I wrote what is necessary to enter, and it kind of requires hacking, but didn't actually write what what specifically you're going to have to do. So maybe I'll assume that it was just as simple as Colin is trying to make it. She did roll high enough, so in the interest of moving forward, she is able to obtain the necessary access code.
I'll take it.
Okay. I swear I'm gonna start being harder on you for the hacking later on. You guys have authorization codes to land and enter. Do you do that?
No, we're flying back up.
Came all this way for nothing.
I'm just not hearing anybody talk, so.
Once we've got a stable landing
Yeah.
space and can get in, I imagine, we would get in.
Fly, Captain.
There is a landing pad, so you've always had a stable landing space. Is anybody still with us? I know Nick
I'm
and
here.
Matt are. Okay.
I'm here.
Passed out.
Ah,
Give me a moment.
so M's out for a minute.
Apparently.
Okay. We'll let her have her little mini nap. Clark moves over to the landing pad. You're able to send the correct authorization codes and the automated response says that you are clear for landing.
Grand. I'll land it.
Okay. As you're landing, the automated system then informs you that the airlock is being depressurized for the atmosphere is being switched in the airlock for safe entry, and please wait.
Sorry.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Trip to Washington, D.C. and back this week.
That's
And the
take it out of
conferences started at 7 a.m. and went until 5:30 p.m. for 2 days in a row, and then traveling, and I am just
Done.
That's alright. Do you want us to continue without you?
No, I'm
Okay.
okay.
Alright. Well, we'll try and wake you up only when captain's input is needed.
Yeah, no, it's alright. I'll try to. I have caffeine here.
Okay. Colleen has obtained the authorization codes, and Clark has swung the shuttle around to the landing pad. The automated system has advised you that the airlock is being prepared for entry.
Oh, I hope this isn't as bad of an idea as I feel like it is.
You all exit the shuttle and move towards the airlock?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Armed and ready.
Yeah.
No, you don't see any of those people that you saw in individual areas. You don't see any of them here right now. A moment later, the airlock door in front of you opens up, and a green light lights above it. You hear the same computerized automated voice. It's actually not computerized, but it's definitely automated. Same automated voice tell you it is safe to enter.
That's good.
I assume you guys go in.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take the lead. If
Alright.
no one else wants to. Shotgun. Yeah.
It is a small room. It is a proper airlock. You can kind of see where this was put in place from the inside. You can tell that this is newer construction than the building. So this is an add-on from after the planet froze.
Makes sense.
The automated system asks if you are ready for atmospheric swapping. And it appears to be waiting for a reply.
Yes.
Okay. The airlock door closes, and you can feel the atmosphere being completely removed, down to traces. You're in a complete vacuum for a moment, and then slowly oxygen starts flowing back into the room. Well, an oxygenated mixture. Breathable air. And after a few moments of that, a green light above the door in front of you going further into the building lights up, and the door opens.
And we're not greeted by anyone?
You are not greeted by anyone alive.
Are we greeted by
Are
anyone,
there dead
anyone,
people?
anyone undead?
There do not appear to be anyone undead.
Are
There
there just dead people?
Yeah, how about the dead people?
are dead people. In various states of decomposition.
Leaving the suit on.
Can I tell what killed them?
You can certainly try. That would be either using some kind of scanner or heal. Or both.
I don't have a scanner. I think someone here has a scanner of some sort. Maybe.
Did we bring it?
I have a survey scanner.
Ah, that's probably not the correct kind of scanner.
Well, there is a bioscanner that you guys could have, but don't. Gonna remember you buying any.
I'll have to remember we have a bioscanner.
The only
And
scanner I have is a survey scanner, but I have that.
The service scanner is a multi-purpose scanner that can take atmospheric and gravitic readings, provide basic chemical analysis, and record up to 200 hours of video.
Yep, that's how we stored some of the data.
Yep.
To bring it up to the ship.
All right. Nope. No, we can't tell. Anybody got heal?
Yeah. You can kind of try to use the survey scanner if you find anything that would be good for chemical analysis, but otherwise it looks like you guys are stuck with heal checks.
Yeah.
Well, if chemical analysis is needed, we have something better than the survey scanner. Or equally good.
Mm-hmm. Heal or no checks.
Presumably, it does not actually state that in what you've written, but presumably with hyperacuity, you mean when you say that in all checks against humans, you mean live humans.
Uh,
Because the text does not actually specify that.
I'm not going to make that restriction.
So hyperacuity would work.
If there is knowledge that could be gained by being hyperacuitous, even on dead people, then yeah, I'll let you take that.
Okay, in that case, I will absolutely activate it.
You're committing the
that-
processing at a risk, but it is only processing for the scene.
But I'll activate hyperacuity
Okay.
for that notice check.
Okay. Some obvious
yeah.
details. We'll start with the obvious details that everybody notices, but you guys have to actually be entering the building to start noticing things.
I mean, Colleen is entering, but normally I would volunteer for no check, but these are dead people, so no.
Some of them have been killed by obvious means. You see punctures, knife wounds, and a little bit less obvious than that, or more obvious on some people, are bite marks and chewed parts. The
Wait, what? Did you say
Yeah.
chewed heart?
I did, yes.
Bite marks and chewed bits.
Yep,
Yes, they have been chewed on.
they have been chewed on.
Ah,
Um,
Do we
Nemo,
know of anything that might do this?
well, that's where Nemo's hyperacuity is coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Other than just starving people.
Those bite marks look like they're definitely from human-sized teeth. That is, does not require a roll.
Mhm.
Aside from those that have died of actual injuries, Nemo is seeing signs of what look like, from the way they fell, from the position that they were strained into, um, presumably in the last moments of their death. There was some hysteria and pain racking through the people that weren't killed by knives or bites.
You cut out intermittently for all of that, so
Oh,
I
man.
didn't hear anything meaningful at all.
God damn it. Based
You also
on...
cut out for that.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. The middle part of goddammit cut out.
Okay. The people that weren't killed by weapons or from savage attacks appear to have suffered their last moments in life in some kind of hysteria and pain.
Okay.
That's all you can get with your free checks. I would let you use notice, continuing to use hyperacuity. Anyone else could also use notice, but it's not going to be as thorough information as a know or heal check.
Mm-hmm.
It is just
Does it
notice
seem like
checks.
they've been? Does it seem like they've been locked in here? I mean, are they stacked against the door? Are there marks on their hands? Is it them trying to claw through the door or anything like that?
There are no marks on doors or furniture. And I suppose it would be pretty obvious if there were any such attempts made if you're inspecting their fingers. So if Nemo is moving towards one of them and trying to
Oh
inspect
yes,
their fingers?
absolutely.
Actually, no, they've been decomposed for a while, so it's not an obvious yes or no on that. That you'll have to roll for.
I was hoping it was cold enough in here that they wouldn't have.
No, it's perfectly temperate in here.
Okay. So notice roll with int.
Mm-hmm.
And Cap is telling everybody to leave their suits on.
I'll just switch. Nemo's not wearing one, but I'm assuming that's not a problem. I'll switch over. My bonus switch penalty briefly over for the int bonus. Add a +1 there. Oh,
0. Good roll.
That was my bad.
That's
That's my bad. That's because
it has a plus. Yeah. Would be plus -1 plus. Oh, you mean like
Well-
plus +1?
Yes.
So,
Reflection type
an
plus
11.
one.
Looks like that's an 11.
+1 instead of just 1, but that should have been an 11. Yes.
All right. Yeah, the skin has decayed back from the fingers a bit, but inspecting fingernails and bones, it doesn't look like any of them were attempting to claw anything out. At least not claw at anything hard.
Okay. Anything else that closer inspection of the bodies can tell me, aside from the fact that some of them have really
Yes.
been cannibalized? Or
Nemo
attempted to
notices
cannibalize?
that the decay on the...
Oh, wait. By the way, those bite marks, do they indicate actual attempts at cannibalism, or does it seem like more a symptom of frenzied attacks?
Both.
Both.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any of the corpses that show signs of having actually been harvested, like meaty parts being carved out or anything like that?
No.
Okay, so none of them show sign of actual professional butchering.
Nope. And that's the extent of what Nemo
Okay, sorry, I
can...
interrupted you. Feel free to go back now.
You were breaking up a little bit. Can you repeat that?
I said, sorry to have interrupted. Feel free to go back to describe what else I can.
That's actually the extent of what Nemo could pick up. I was mistakenly about to go into information that a heal would given him, so I'm backing off from that. Sorry. Does anybody have heal that wants to roll it, or feel confident enough in their int bonus to roll it without the
Yes,
actual
but once
skill?
again, no.
yeah, that'd be our best.
Okay.
I got a +1 and a -1 on heal, so that would it'd be sort of. I'd just be trusting the dice at that point.
Mm-hmm. Nemo can attempt that too. The heal check if he wants.
Well, I might as well roll it. Int.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look at that.
Okay. So what I was about to say, before realizing that this was a heal check, is that the decay on those that were not killed violently, it appears to have an origin point. The decay is much worse around the sternum, just between the sternum and the neck, in all of those that died in the hysterical or pained positions. Nemo's very, very basic medical analysis combined with what he can see quite obviously from their positioning is that there's some kind of disease, virus, bacteria,
Some
something
kind of
killed.
biological agent.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, he'll communicate his findings and echo the captains. I would strongly advise that you all remain in a sealed atmosphere during this visit. This appears to be caused by some sort of deadly biological agent, possibly
That
possibly causing murderous insanity or psychosis prior to death. Are you muted, Emma?
Yeah. Everyone needs to stay in their suits.
Colleen is gonna
No
fire up
argument.
Elixir and scan for biological
These,
hazards.
from my preliminary survey, these people went mad, killed, and in some cases attempted to eat each other, and then survivors succumbed to fatal biological agent.
Also, the second we get back, we need to
I would
put
also
Nemo
strongly
into
suggest that,
decontamination.
Yeah, we need to. We're going to need to decontaminate you,
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Nemo.
that you remain sealed in the suit until I can thoroughly decontaminate myself.
I just didn't like Mike's description at first because it sounded like chest bursters.
They still young.
Mm-hmm.
We did see life forms, so there may still be people here.
We got
so.
heat signatures, people. She would actually have the drone do a flyby.
Okay.
Regrettably, that would also, of course, include decontamination of the insides of the shuttle.
Next time we put him in a suit.
With the shuttle.
We would still have to decontaminate the shuttle.
As Alexa is flying towards the signature, it's basically around a corner, completely obscured by the wall of the corner. You can't see it visually until Alexa gets there, and you see a dirty and a pock-marked man with open sores, holding a knife and just kind of crouched in an upgoing stairwell, listening.
Zombie!
What?
Zombie!
What?
It looks up at the drone.
Plague zombie! Behind the corner! Get ready! That thing is alive!
I will
And pustules!
crouch down behind something with my gun ready.
It stops looking at the drone and it's craning its neck to try and hear around the corner.
What? What do you mean, zombie? Is it like an infected person?
Yes,
they're just like driven mad, or
Colleen simply transmits basically the images to their data slabs. For yourself, it's right there.
The man leans forward as the group goes silent. You can see a little stream of blood start down his knuckles as he grips his knife tighter.
I'll just hold my finger up to my mouth and look at the others.
He takes a step down. Still can't see him, except through the drone.
Cap will also try to. She'll try to gesture to people to find some cover.
The hustling about as people find cover freezes. And then as people settle in, takes another step, and you can see his forehead passing around the corner, and then his nose, and then he turns, looks over at you.
Out of curiosity, is Alexa picking up anything airborne?
Anything what airborne?
Pathogens.
Does she do that?
Basically, any sort of. Yeah.
Yeah, I know she does. If you want to switch her, if you want to switch her visual mode and take a look, you can certainly do so.
Yep.
Okay.
Caps can have her gun trait trained on the man.
Okay. You are.
Yep.
Yeah, dude
Yeah.
had his
Can't quite be on target yet because he has almost complete cover. But if he moves farther out, you'll be on target. Calling tips and taps and swipes across the datapad, looking at the scan results, and there does appear to be something in the air.
Alright, Captain. It's airborne. Whatever it is. We can't get the suits damaged.
The man backs off. You can no longer see him around the corner.
Jesus.
The
Where is he going?
I assume you switch the drone back to visual.
Yep.
He scrambles up the stairs. Is Colleen following with the drone?
Yes. Just
He
keeping it
scrambles-
on, mainly on IR at this point. Not that that little bastard is trying to even lead the drone to an ambush. That way she can maybe pick up anyone else hiding, waiting.
Okay.
I think maybe we want to leave.
She follows him up 2 flights of stairs. He actually moves pretty quickly. And then he stands up. He's still hunched over a little bit, but not as much as he was when he was sprung and ready for an attack. And stands and looks about.
With your permission, Captain, I could attempt to communicate with these people. It's not entirely out of the realm of possibility that they might be open to negotiation, and I would be the one at least at risk in such a
Yeah, he's not edible.
I'm neither edible. I'm neither edible nor infectable.
Well, we hope so.
I mean, we could get a lot of stuff off this tower if we can pull this off. I mean, this thing is on, it has light, it has everything.
Mm-hmm. You see computers and you know what kind of business it was.
The survivor did not attack us initially, and it at least indicates that still capable of some amount of reasoning.
He definitely wasn't stupid.
Yeah, let him go. The worst
No,
can
but
happen.
he goes and gets reinforcements.
Currently he's just standing around.
Oh no, I meant let Nemo go talk to him.
We need to put a speaker on that drone.
Well, if someone had built me the other drone,
Uh-huh.
Have
It wouldn't have been done by now anyway.
any communication channels come online in the tower?
Nope. In fact, now that you're through the airlock, that blurb of communication channel that was, well, communicating to you to ask for authorization is silent.
Hey, Clark, I have an idea. Do you want to take over Alexa and keep an eye on him, and I'll see if maybe I can get some blueprints out of these computers? Maybe see where something good, that way at least we know where to go.
Jeff?
Sorry, I missed that last part.
Oh, Cody was just asking if Clark wants to take over the drone and keep an eye on him while she maybe tries to get the blueprints for this building out of the computer so we have an idea of where the best loot is,
That's
so
fine.
to speak.
That's fine.
Right? Okay, she authorizes him to basically take over. And we'll do that while everyone else kind of watches and Nemo goes and does his thing.
Okay. Is Nemo going to try and talk to the thing?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Well, you know where it was at. Excuse me. And it is going to take Colleen a little bit of time to do an unprepared hack on the system, or an unplanned hack. So let's go with.
But I always plan to hack.
Yes, but this wasn't planned out.
I know.
Nemo climbs up a flight of stairs at presumably at Clark's direction.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Actually, is this drone able to do IR to detect other dudes, or
Oh yeah.
It is, yeah.
can I do that?
It's
sure you
it's
say
actually
that.
already
Yeah.
how it is.
Yep.
Okay.
Think of it as a spy drone. That's
Is there
exactly what it
anyone else
is.
nearby?
You're only seeing the one guy.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Nemo climbs up the second set of stairs, and as he's starting that, Clark, you see the man's posture changes. On IR, it's more difficult to see exactly what he's doing, but he seems to have a tighter posture and is actually moving towards the drone, assuming that the drone is still at the top of that particular staircase.
That's the same one that Nemo's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Um. How far is
You're breaking up a little bit there, Jeff.
from the drone?
How far is the thing from the drone? Matter of feet at this point. He's
Oh.
about a meter away from the top of the staircase.
I'm gonna pull back into the staircase a little bit. Try to keep him out of arm's reach. I don't want him to just scrap the drone.
Okay.
And I'll communicate to Nemo. He's coming to the top of the staircase. I think he might be following the drone.
Well, that's one way to lead him around.
Mel, do you have any way you want to make your approach up that second flight of stairs? That second story of stairs?
Carefully and keeping an eye out for any possible ambushes or sudden movements, and also attempting to seem as non-threatening and non-aggressive as possible.
Okay. What Clark sees is the man takes a position near the top of the stairwell. He is or that particular landing. He is right at the edge, and yes, it does look like he's waiting.
You might not want to go all the way up. He's waiting up there. He might pounce on you if you get too close. And can I take the?
Need to get closer in order to communicate successfully.
Well, just talk. Use your voice. I imagine he can hear you. And can I take the drone controller, bottom of the stairwell?
Can you take the drone controller and what?
Can I move to the bottom of the stairwell?
The drone itself, or you?
No, me.
Yeah, you're
Clark.
controlling it through your datapad.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah,
That way
you can go ahead and move to the bottom of the stairwell while still controlling the drone.
I fear that communication without being able to see the individual I'm communicating with would be greatly impeded.
Keep in mind, Jeff, that you're at the bottom of you're 2 stories of stairs away from him.
Right, but if Nemo comes running down and he comes running after Nemo, I can potentially provide that guy with some metals, precious metals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mel, do you continue on up?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Well, you get to the top of the landing, or do you go all the way up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
He makes a very violent motion at you.
As in he attacks.
He attacks.
That's unfortunate.
It is feeble and ineffectual.
Mm-hmm.
What is
The Colleen
Nemo's...
style of combat.
Hmm?
I said the Colleen style of combat.
Did Colleen start a combat?
No, he said the Colleen style of combat.
Yep,
Oh.
wicked and effective.
Yes, yeah. What is Nemo's armor class?
16?
Okay, so then it can't even harass or harry him with shock damage. And, well, it would probably be rolling initiative now.
Okay.
Did you want to put our pogs out or something so we could put in the initiative tracker?
No, it's okay. Just
Okay.
for now, let's just have the initiative rolls.
Let's see. Initiative,
Jesus, guys. A lot of ones out there, huh?
Hey, fits Colleen.
Yeah, it does.
He's busy anyway. Wow. In all fairness, Clark is occupied.
Trying to have my shotgun ready at once while controlling the drone slows me down a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. As in, you can't really do it.
I mean, dude has had his shotgun ready, but he can't help because he ain't even anywhere near where this is going on.
No, we can't. Okay. So those of you that are down on the floor 30, with having heard, I'm assuming that Clark relays that the thing is attacking, or is that a?
I mean, yes.
Okay.
Although that should
Probably in some sort of like, oh shit!
In colorful fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, go ahead and put it out there. Let's hear it.
He got too close. The damn thing's lunging at him.
Alright, so that gives cause for all the initiative rolls. Nemo obviously had his own reasons for an initiative roll. Those of you that are on floor 30, what are you doing? You're several rounds away from being able to physically assist.
Nemo, try to lure him down here.
Alright, are the rest of you staying put?
Connie's continuing with what she's doing right now.
Okay.
I'll move the drone out of harm's way.
Okay.
I don't know if the staircase is big enough for me to just put it against the ceiling where the dude can't get at it, but I'll switch my focus to my shotgun so I can support Nemo.
Okay. The drone hovers in place. Nemo.
In all fairness, he has to use his main action to keep control of the drone.
I thought it would hover if he doesn't.
No, only if he had the drone, basically the implant, handheld units.
Oh,
He has to use the main action, otherwise that thing actually runs a 2 in 6 chance of crashing the drone.
gotcha.
Shit, I guess I'm gonna fly it down back to us and try to land it then, so I can switch focus to the shotgun.
Okay.
Or get... Oh, Colleen's busy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, can bring it back and land it. 30 meters per round.
Yep.
On the pilot's turn in combat.
Is that what Clark's gonna do?
Yeah.
Okay. It is on its way back. You'll have to control it for one more round, and then you're free and clear of it.
Okay.
Nemo.
Understood, Captain. I believe I can disable this assailant without any risk, but if you prefer, I will disengage. I'll use the main action to disengage and then move back down the stairs.
Okay.
I mean, if he... Yeah.
Maybe if he can
thinks
take him
he
down.
Take it, yeah.
That guy has a knife. If he throws that, if the suit gets pierced, you're infected.
Oh, sorry. Did Cap relay that immediately?
Yeah, if you can, take him down.
Okay, in
say
that
that
case,
that-
instead, I'll...
I'm gonna say that amount of conversation, Nemo was already disengaging. He was already taking his
Okay.
action for that. Because that's a bit of talking and response, and then
What?
reacting
Talking
to
is not a free action?
You can't have a lengthy conversation and expect it to be able to affect your current round in combat. Even
Damn you,
shortly.
D&D.
Well,
I know.
Hmm.
Sorry.
in that case, I can't really do anything other than disengaging and then moving away.
Yeah, and that's fine. Cap said draw him back. Nemo started doing that pretty much immediately. As he was saying, I think I can take him out. And then, as he's still backing away from the thing, that's when Cap says, well, if you can take him out, go for it. However, it is going to give this thing one more attack at you. He is
He
hot
follows-
on your heels.
He runs after it.
Mm-hmm. He is hot on your heels with his knife raised. And once again, ineffectual. Next round comes around. Clark brings the drone to a stop and is able to level his shotgun. Nemo is, well, if he keeps going, he'll reach the top of the first flight of stairs and a little ways down. Everybody else is holding position and or continuing their hack. And let's jump straight to Nemo.
What?
I think I heard one moment.
Yeah, I was just
Finishing your. Got it.
typing.
I see it.
I don't know.
I'm not edible.
But since he doesn't respond to Nemo's suggestion that he cease and desists.
I am not edible.
He does not. He appears to be continuing to attack.
Wildly attacking with a knife.
Wildly attacking with a knife.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'll punch him.
Okay. Roll it.
Assume that's a hit.
That is a hit. Is Nemo trying to incapacitate, kill, or what's he doing?
Incapacitate.
Okay.
He's specifically trying to avoid killing him.
Okay. Nemo, Well, you want to describe how Nemo hits him then?
Sure. Does it incapacitate him? The 4 damage.
Well, that did more damage than his hit points, so...
Yes. Well, in that case, Nemo, well, after blocking another couple of swings, he will direct a precise blow against the knife-wielding arm, aiming for a clean but debilitating break, and then take out one of his legs as well.
Okay. Alright, the arm snaps easily. Too easily.
For good measure, taking out a kneecap as well.
Just sweeping his leg, it seems like that may have done damage itself, and as he tumbles to the ground, you hear a whatever the sound was. It did not sound healthy. Clark, a human ragdoll with at this point several broken bones, tumbles to a stop at the landing above you.
I point the shotgun at it.
It's
You
not
all right up there?
I am entirely unarmed. I may have underestimated the resilience of my attacker. I was attempting to disable him with non-fatal crippling malfunctions.
So you're saying he's dead?
Yeah, Clark, from where you're standing, his skull looks smaller than it should be.
I'll lower my gun and walk up to the thing.
Yep, the floor itself has definitely caved his skull in by a small amount.
Yeah, I'd say looks like he wasn't very resilient.
Of course, Nemo's hands actually hit like sledgehammers, but that's another issue
And
entirely.
I'll call back to the other people. We can stand down. Nemo done brained this one.
Wait wait for Mel to finish typing for a second there. Alright.
It might. It appears that an additional side effect of this pathogen is some sort of, some form of osteoporosis or other weakening of the bone structure.
Could it be simply caused by malnutrition?
It's possible. At any rate, my attacker broke broke with, well, distressing ease compared to a normal human being.
Could have been that maybe he has that, what's it called, osteoporosis. I have a minus.
Osteoporosis.
I thought it was osteopsoriasis.
That was it. That was it right there.
What are we talking about?
You know,
we
makes your
don't know.
bones all soft.
I thought it was a skin condition.
Think
How
they're
is a
already
skin
affected
condition
by
gonna make your
whatever's in the
bones
air.
grow? I don't know.
The attacks of this individual were also wild and entirely uncoordinated. Either this individual had no training or indeed any competence in hand-to-hand combat, or these capacities were similarly eroded by the pathogen. During the incident, my attacker remained unwilling to respond to my attempts at peaceful communication.
Colleen? Let's go ahead and, or Nick, let's go ahead and get a mental save from Colleen. Okay. Describe it however you like, but the incident and the gory details and the stress of a combat while she's trying to hack have not affected her in any way. Not mechanically, I should say.
That's actually pretty easy. She tuned the whole thing out.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, with the hack, that's what her focus is on. That's a machine, she can deal with that. And she blocked out that whole conversation.
That's kind of what I figured the description would be.
Yep.
Perfect.
It's basically just like she didn't use her usually pretty good knowledge skills to assess what happened to those people. It's basically pretend it's not there. She basically has the sunglasses that turn black.
Alright. Is anybody doing anything else for the duration, the amount, the remaining duration that Colin needs to get into these systems?
I'll start piling the drone again and try to scout around our general area a little bit.
We got 500 meters.
Dude's just keeping an eye out and is ready to help her if she needs any kind of, mechanical help with the computer. But other than that, he's not much use right now. And I'm willing to bet $5 that Cap's asleep.
No.
Oh, hey, I lost $5. There we go.
Yes, you did. That drone has enough range to go all the way to the top floor. Just letting you guys know. A 100-story building should be about 300 meters.
Mm-hmm. It's a hell of a drone.
I think, we should send the drone around and see if there are any more people? And if so, how many?
Zombies.
Zombies were people too.
Yep.
X people.
The individual I encountered was clearly alive when, well, until very recently.
I wonder what happened.
Clark, controlling the drone.
Mhm.
You can make some good distance while Colleen is finishing her hack. Um, he does see a couple of others throughout the floors. The nearest one is actually moving towards the recent commotion. It also looks at the drone and stops and pauses to look at it, but then continues towards the stairwell where Nemo tripped a dude to death.
I'd like to point out, though, they are hard to detect.
The drone or the
Yup.
people?
The drone.
Ah.
When it's flying right within the same room as somebody, not so hard.
Okay, yeah.
From a distance, yes, absolutely.
We got another one coming. They'll be coming down the stairwell in just a few.
I mean, it's still difficulty 8. At observation range, difficulty 10, close enough to engage a target that can be spotted at difficulty 8.
I had read close enough to engage as being within ranged weapon range, not melee range.
Is he flying that thing into melee range?
The whole room is melee range. The highest
Ah.
you can get is, well, about 10 feet up, if that. And 8 feet is close enough for somebody to attack you. So yeah, I don't think that a drone within the same room without a stealth suite, 'cause I think there is a stealth fitting.
There is.
Yeah, I don't think that that's difficult to see. It makes noise. It's something that's moving in the room. So if they were firing guns, I would give them the DC 8 check to make. As it stands, though, they are actually ignoring the drone after looking at it and assessing it. There is only one coming towards the commotion. The others are staying away, and the last scene you really see before we flip back over to Colleen is two of them apparently coming into proximity of each other within the same room. They've both already seen the drone and looked at it and then ignored it, but then they see each other and they freeze. They tighten up and just kind of stand there staring at each other. And we're gonna go over to Colleen. Go ahead and her hack is executed, and now you can try and ask questions or try to do a specific effect of your hack.
Technically, what she wants to go for is acquire information, since we're looking for kind of the blueprints.
Okay. Where did hacking go? What page you on?
It's the I know it's difficulty 10.
I still want to be on the page.
Yeah, give me a second. I was on a different page.
No, I got it.
But yeah, basically get general information.
Okay.
In this case, full map of the site, as in layouts, where since there was a corporation where basically, as I said, layout with labels,
What kind of company was this?
communications.
So it wasn't like they made the whatever disease this.
They're called Terracom Global, but I mean, we don't exactly know, but just from the name, probably communication.
Yeah, it looks like this was a communications building or company, and you can judge that not just by the name, but by some of the other things on the building. You know, satellites and things. It's just one of those. Yeah, this was telecommunications. um, so general information. Uh, on a particular topic from the system, and you're
Yep.
looking for.
Get a full map of the site.
Okay. You've got a full network map of the site and a full physical map, further confirming your assumption that this was a global communications company and building. There are uh, there's a floor dedicated to the satellite array, which may have some good spare parts. There are a lot of computers and servers here, which will also have, which you can also salvage for spare parts. And you can also see that the lightning rod is still attached and functional. And I mean, that was kind of obvious. The tower still has oxygen.
Can I also find out where their maintenance department is? Because they would have had tools to fix shit.
Where the maintenance department is?
But seeing how they're in telecommunication and data, they might have some interesting tools.
They might have some interesting tools.
Maybe even line trans. Unlikely,
but
yeah. Yeah, and then she would just mark basically all the sites of interest and then see where Cap wants to go. And now that she has the map, can she overlay that with the information from the drone to basically that we have a picture of where all the zombies are?
All the zombies that you've seen? Yeah, that's fine.
That the drone has seen, yeah. So we have an idea of kind of path of least resistance, so to speak.
Clark, the two that were squaring off back away from each other, slowly, like cowboys in a duel that neither of them won. And after they separate a fair distance, one of them untenses and moves in a different direction. And then the other
Towards
one follows
this?
suit. No, not specifically towards you. It looks like he's just kind of going off.
And they move in different directions?
Yep, they move away from each other.
We still got one coming towards us, but two of them about ran into each other, and there's something weird. Tensed up and then ran away from each other. It's like they didn't like each other.
Did they talk?
Nah, I didn't. Nah.
You couldn't hear anything.
Are we dealing with an entire building of psychic zombies?
It's likely that if they relapse to an animalistic predatory behavior, see others of their kind as either threats or rivals or potential prey, and are trying to avoid coming into conflict with each other.
Right, but I mean, if that was the case, I don't see why they wouldn't, attack each other or something.
Colleen, are you
Perhaps for the same reason why the first one we encountered did not attack us initially. They did not believe that they could necessarily win, whereas the one that attacked me alone clearly underestimated my capabilities.
Maybe they just like to ambush.
Colleen, are you going to ask the hack any additional questions?
Yes. That's another roll, isn't it?
It is another roll.
Okay. But yes.
What else would you like to know, or ask, or do?
In this case, she would like, if she can, information. Let's see.
You find out if there's some information on what happened here.
That would be a little bit harder than that. No. She would like to know. Obviously, that system has users. Where would be the offices of the people basically with the highest level of access?
Okay.
Because hacking is all nice and good, but if she can kind of find out if it like works on cards or access codes, then maybe finding those offices and getting those codes would be a good idea.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Yep, that still succeeds. Um, she can see that the highest authority has been rerouted from management offices to, well, it would still be the highest authority at the top of the building, um, but it's to the top floors, and looks like the top floors plural have been crossed out so that only the top floor has that highest authority, and even that was slightly rerouted to specific end terminals rather than what they were set as initially. So to kind of translate, before this place froze and while it was an active business, there were executive offices at the top, and then after the freeze and things shifted politically and locally, um, somebody at the top changed all that access to be only their one terminal.
Right, you would mark that terminal. Basically, what that is.
Mm-hmm. It is a connection on the top floor.
Okay. And if she's still in there, she would try to also get information on if there are any security systems in place inside the building.
Okay. That will be general information again, so go ahead and roll it.
I'll take it.
That succeeds. There are security lockouts, but they're not really designed for. Um, they're not physical security measures, and they're really, really old and foreign. They actually are probably pre-Scream. It looks like they were designed to resist external hacking.
Okay.
And not even the kind that you did to get the access codes, but like basically internet, antivirus
Yes.
for the entire global net.
Well, yeah.
So no, you have
Alright.
no internal security to worry about.
In that case, yeah, if she's still in the system, she would like to find out, like Cap asked, if there's like a log file or someone used the last stupid moments on this planet to write a diary about what happened. Since this is, well, here's the weird part: it's a communication company. They, at least it doesn't seem like they were dabbling with viruses or biological threats. So, can she find any information on that?
as to why we seem to be breaking into Umbrella Corp?
What? No, I wouldn't do that.
The communication company was trying to hide communications within a person.
So all the bite marks were just data transfers?
Well, I mean, something went wrong and they made zombies. That's it. We have to crack that guy open. That has already been partially cracked open, but we need to crack open his DNA.
But I take it that's another get information?
That is answer a specific question, so it's a little less difficult.
Less difficult.
But made more difficult by the cumulative hacks. And the cumulative hacks have alerted the system's internal security, just standard security, enough that Colleen is blocked. That did not succeed.
Oh well. That's fine. We just assume it was Umbrella Corps.
Let's see.
The question is do you get an actual computer message of little window, access denied? Or do you get the weird science giant pirate skull saying access denied in a government computer?
Well, let's find out.
Truthfully, a decent system would just shut down the entire terminal.
Well, yeah.
Well, if you fail, you must immediately make a second check at the same difficulty. So, if Colleen cares, make a check to avoid immediate alarm and trace of hacking location.
Oh, Colleen always cares.
Okay, roll it. Let's see. Well, she still has an in to the system. She can still attempt to get more information. This did not raise an alarm. It simply, she simply failed to get the information she was trying to get.
She's trying to get it. Might as well know what we're walking into.
Okay, so she tries again.
Yes.
Go for it. That is another no.
Damn it, zombies, tell me your secrets.
She can tell that there is the information that she seeks somewhere.
Alright.
She can't get to it.
Okay, if she can tell that the information at least is there, then unfortunately, yeah, for her curiosity, she's better than this. So she's using her expert on that.
Okay.
She's trying to keep it for something important, but she doesn't deal with frustration well.
Roll it. Nope.
God damn it.
That's gonna be even more frustrating.
Nope.
She's just gonna
Yeah,
have to
I've
keep
had-
hacking.
Yeah, she's working on that. Alright, this is as much as we're gonna get out of this.
Yeah, that's actually you're at +5 to the difficulty at this point. That last one was only at +4 on the reroll.
Yep. Yeah, no, for the time being, she lets that go.
Okay.
At least we now have a couple of sites. Not to mention, if we get lucky, it maybe find the access code.
Your datapad has finished collating the, the data on what all computer equipment is available, and estimates abstracts in you're abstracting this estimate at about 50 tons of spare parts. If you spent a considerable amount of time stripping the computers and servers and everything from this tower. And by a considerable amount of time, we're talking 4 competent people spending all day for a week.
All right, how much for us?
You've got 3 competent people in Fix. 4 if you want to include Jushin.
Oh yeah, zombie fodder. All right, but yeah, she's relaying that information, and well, what I would say is, I mean, it will take time to strip all of this. We should keep the lightning rod for last if we're gonna do that. Otherwise, I'd like to take a look in the maintenance department because they might have some high-end tools. And if we want to find out more, we might just have to make it to the top floor so I can get access to that master panel.
Fair enough.
But zombies.
I don't want to go in with the belief that just because the one was taken out quickly that we're going to do that with all of them.
Has that one gotten to us yet?
No, you actually kind of stop and get distracted by something.
No.
That something is he's crouched down and he's eating something.
Can I move
Did
the
it-
drone to see what he's eating?
Oh sure.
Did
you
a
can
piece
switch it
fall
off
off the other one?
You can switch it off of IR. He's eating a decaying human body.
It's unfortunate
Yep,
that these afflicted individuals apparently do not realize that I am not actually edible.
Maybe we should make you a sign.
If only you had those skin faces already.
I don't know, we could cut up one of these bodies and drape bits of it on you, and that way they could have something to eat when they attack you and not try to take bits off of you. Like a walking meat rack.
Colleen is no
I
longer
really don't think we need to do that.
Colleen is no longer distracted by hacking and gets that entire image in her head.
Couldn't we talk about something else? Just little. Trying very hard not to throw up. Granted, the suit can handle it, but do we
Yeah,
have
it's got
to?
like an automated system built in there.
It would recycle
Yes.
it.
It would, yes, it would recycle it, and then I could drink it.
Stop thinking about it.
I can't stop thinking about it now.
Nick, I'm gonna ask her a physical save from Colleen.
No, she failed.
Describe the outcome.
Yeah, trying very hard not to think about vomiting and parts just makes her think about vomiting. And the idea of kind of the suit recycling it makes it worse. And she vomits inside the suit. Yeah, kind of doubles over and kind of. It's not projectile vomiting, but yeah, she's retching and everything. And the suit recycles it. Makes it worse again, so she's spending like a good minute or two just doing that.
I can't tell if a regular vaccine.
Picking up some peculiar noises.
The regular vac suit can't handle it. It doesn't have the recycling system in it.
No, it just stays there in your face, but then you're not. It's not recycling it back to you.
Exactly.
But this
I'm
one
pick- I'm
does.
picking up
Yes,
some
the
very,
Mexican does.
I'm picking up some very peculiar noises. Is everyone
She'll
all
be
right?
fine. Colleen will be fine. Just give her a moment.
Or two.
I would suggest that if we are to proceed further up, that I would take point for the same reason that I'll be less susceptible to any possible infection from attacks.
Oh god, now I'm thirsty, but I know where the water's coming from.
Well, if you think about it, where we're getting the water on the ship from, probably doesn't bear thinking about either. I get the feeling she's not too particularly well suited to space.
I'm fine as long as people don't put ideas on my head.
Well, it's out of your head now.
No, just out of my stomach. When she does take a sip of water. This is actually refreshing. But yes, after a few minutes, she's back on her feet.
Did you get any hints in that system about possible pretext salvage?
Well, we got the lightning rod. For everything else, we have to look around. I said, if you can get me to the master terminal, can probably find out a whole lot more, and maybe even see if they have anything in the databases. But I said, I would like to hit the maintenance department first. But the
Well, me
lightning rod
too.
should wait for last. Because if it goes like the last one, it will shut everything down.
Oh yeah. Now here's a question. I mean, you should be able to get into this without even having to hack. Is there like a baseline company directory or building map just like accessible?
She sends him the entire map of the entire blueprints of the whole thing.
Right on.
And no, this stuff is, well, not super sophisticated, but it has precautions. That's what kicked me out. They just don't hand that stuff out to everybody.
Now,
But as I said, everything is at that master terminal.
right.
So if we can get the access to it, then I don't have to crack the system. Turns out it doesn't like it.
Yeah, well, nobody likes getting cracked. Is there a dude kind of gives a glance over the map? Does there seem to be an R&D department? Is there anything that's labeled as that?
In so much, there's market research.
All right.
I have the feeling all their focus groups are either dead, or it turns out they like people.
They're people.
Right. So they're not like Microsoft that actually has a physical R&D department, even though they mostly just sell software. Gotcha.
Doesn't appear to be one.
All right. But they probably have a maintenance section for tech support, repairs.
But yeah, that's where Green wants to go.
All right. Looks like a plan to me.
Colleen found it. It's basement.
We're gonna play around with elevator cables again? I do not want to walk.
No,
I don't
because the
think
building
we'll
is
need
fully
to.
active.
Well, that didn't stop the other elevator cables from breaking.
That was because the elevators were frozen over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I got to imagine that these, whatever's left of these people ain't exactly performing regular maintenance. Who knows how long it's been since anybody's actually been, keeping things up in this place. It was worth a shot.
Well, we'll press a button and we'll see what happens.
And you have something of a time frame for when whatever happened to these people happened. It couldn't have been several years ago, which also rules out decades or centuries, because
Right.
they're not that decomposed.
Okay. So it should be all right. Yeah, let's go, man.
You guys head over
Get you.
to an elevator.
Well, maybe that walk will settle her stomach down.
Um,
A good sip of
do you
water
want to
should
use
do
an
that.
elevator?
Hmm?
I'm just
I didn't-
saying, if we get to a floor, the door's open, something runs inside, maybe the stairs would be a better idea.
Well, I
think
mean,
we're
you
pretty
mapped
high.
the building.
He hasn't gotten the drone to all the floors yet, so you
No.
don't know where everything is. And plus, you're not
Oh.
placing trackers on them, so once they're out of sight of the drone, you have a bit of range on IR, but not not the 500 meters range.
I mean, in all fairness, the range on the drone for kind of recognizing things is 2 kilometers.
Right,
Through
but
walls?
yeah, same as last tower. I'm not giving you carte blanche ability to see through everything.
Oh no, I don't expect that. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that the range of the sensors is longer than the range of the drone.
Right.
Well, in that case, let's spend a few minutes while he maps things. That way, at least we know if there are certain floors and how many there are.
Okay.
That way, you have a general idea. Not that the horde is down there versus, hey, that floor's empty.
You want to go down to the maintenance floor first, as far as the drone down?
Yes.
Okay. Clark?
Yeah.
Do you concur? Okay. Clark takes the drone down several floors. It takes a while, but not quite as long as it would take you guys to walk. In fact, it's much faster, because it doesn't have to
Yeah,
worry
I'm-
about tumbling, and goes
Yep.
faster.
And to make his life easier, if it's possible, I would have Clark operate the drone while, as we established last time, you can't necessarily fly it and interpret the data. So Colleen goes on the data and sensors. That way, Clark can just fly it.
Okay. Well, in this case, it's not really. It's not too difficult. There's no interpretation of the data, except for when you start looking at IR signatures that are farther away and getting obscured by things. But for the IR signatures that are on the same floor as you, it's pretty easy to. It's almost visual.
Yeah, but that way he doesn't have to worry about switching modes, missing something.
Okay. It does speed things along a little bit. You see a couple more of these um, deranged men as he's going down the floors, and as usual, they look at the drone and then ignore it. You get down to the maintenance and see that there's two of them down there. It's kind of just puttering around a decent distance from each other, but you haven't seen anything in the elevator shaft or in the elevator itself. But there are two on the floor that you want to get to.
Well, let's do it.
Should we take the elevator to the floor below the one we went to, and then take the stairs up to that floor so we have a more defensible position?
You're actually going to the bottom floor.
Right, we can still do the floor above it.
Yes.
Then.
Is the floor above it clear, or are there any things there?
The floor above it is clear.
How many floors do we actually have up until there are more of them? Not that we get basically sandwiched.
Up from the maintenance or from where you're currently at? I assume from the maintenance.
From the maintenance. Let's say we're in the staircase. How many levels up until there are more hostiles, so to speak?
There was another one on the 5th floor.
Okay.
They're sprinkled throughout the building. There don't appear to be all that many of them.
From the count we got from the drone, how many are there so far that we've discovered?
You've discovered 8 so far.
Okay. Well, Captain?
Sorry, my mom was messaging me. What was that?
Are we going to go to the maintenance department?
Yes.
You're gonna go 1 floor up or just straight down?
And Clark we trust. If he says that's the better option, then we'll go 1 floor up and walk.
Jeff?
Yeah.
I believe that question was directed at you.
Oh, what was the question?
It was less of a question, more of an agreement.
Mm-hmm.
To go down to the bottom level?
1 up and then walk, like he
Yeah,
suggested.
that was what I suggested. Yeah.
Yes, there was
Yeah.
agreement there.
And Nemo will take point unless anyone objects.
Nope.
It's fine.
Nope, and since
Captain
Clark,
will try to, be in the kind of position where she could provide cover if needed.
and since Clark might need the gun, Colleen is basically taking back control of Alexa.
Are we stopping on a cliffhanger here?
We are, and I'm getting to it in just a moment. You guys get up to the elevator. And call the elevator.
Mm-hmm. Does it stop at all?
Does it stop at all?
On its way to us.
Oh, well, as you call the elevator, a great shuddering throughout the entire building. Dude's concerns were somewhat founded. The maintenance hasn't been great, and it has been a little while, but not so long that it's completely out of repair. It's just making a lot of noise. You can immediately see the depraved men that were in the basement notice the sound and look towards the elevator, and then look towards the stairs, and can assume that since this is shuddering throughout the entire building, that is happening across all the floors. It's going to take a little bit of time for that elevator to get to you. And we'll go ahead and pause there.
And they all seem to be heading towards our